hello. How you doing? 64 people waiting. It's doing that thing again. Hello. What shall I call you? Shall I call you by your name, or do you want me to call you? What do you want us to call you first of all?
You can call me whatever you want, but my birth name was Dana Eugene. The last name, well, it doesn't particularly matter. so call me either or.
Hello, everybody. So shall I call you Eugene? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's what I've been going by a lot here lately. It reminds me of, my mom. She used to call me by my first and middle name. So.
Oh, that's sweet. Right, hang on a sec. Let me just get the brightness up. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say hello to everybody in chat. So this is we are the conscious evolution. I've known of his about 4 years now. But we lost contact with each other. Because when I lost my other channel at one point, you see, and then when I got it back, I lost a lot of the subscribers. But we've recently reconnected. I think it was last year after all the trouble with a certain Skywatcher, and Eugene here came to my defense and said, I've got your back. So I thought it was really kind of him. And then we've been talking recently. We've hooked up on Facebook. Not hooked up, you know what I mean. People will start talking, Eugene, and and he was talking about his mental health and so on after our stream last night. And I says, why don't we speak? So we're going to touch a little bit on mental health, but we've done it on this channel because Eugene has been on a great awakening and he's got a lot to tell us. David Bruce, I think that you will probably find this very interesting. David Bruce, you're welcome to come up. I'm not having an open panel. I'm just going to be interviewing Eugene, but David Bruce, I think you might be good at interviewing with me. It's up to you. If you want, I'll send you the link. So if we can, I'll just say hello to everybody. We've got David Bruce, we've got Ellen, hello darling, we've got Other Side of Life, we've got Kate, hello sweetheart, Aracod, hello. If we can all welcome Eugene here. I'll put his channel in the description. Hold on, I did. Okay, let me just do that now. Stick his channel in, please check his channel out. So if we can all welcome him in, and then please give him a sub, that'd be great if you could. Okay, and Eugene, do you want to introduce yourself while I'm just going to send David Bruce this link?
I really thought about this as far as introducing myself.
Do you want to start? Hello. Do you want to start with? Did you say that you were part Native American? Is that right?
Well, it's like a lot of people in the U.S. that are mixed between European and native blood. There's probably more European blood than there is that, but we're all kind of like a dog you get somewhere. When you go somewhere and they have the dogs that nobody wants. Well, that's about it. Mix of a little bit of everything. But yeah, the native thing, interestingly enough, I think right now with this great awakening that's going on, any bit of that within a person's DNA will start to activate, and that part of them will start to look at the world through those eyes and more closer to spirit than of the Western world. And I think that's more what's happening with me, because it goes back like I think it's great grandma, my mom. Both of her parents were native, or grandparents, or whatever it was. I'd have to look back into it.
Yeah. Have you got there's a very slight echo. Have you got a YouTube tab open at all?
Let's see. I shouldn't have anything open. Now, let me try and turn the fan off and see if that does anything.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I don't know if it's just it's so slight. Thank you. Hello, iBogie love. Yeah, so Eugene's part Native American. Hello, CIA Dave. How are you, bud? You okay? So when did you first of all, when did you start to realise that the world wasn't what it is? What you now know it is?
Well, that was a long time ago, but the actual spiritual awakening part didn't happen until Well, let's say reawakening about 7 years ago. But I've always known that the world was kind of screwy. That's why I was a 16-year-old kid that tattooed anarchy symbols on himself, but was not like you think, like a destructive type of a thought pattern. Because I had a teacher ask me about it, and I said, look, if we get rid of all the governments and all the control mechanisms, man can live in peace. And then she just kind of laughed and said, it's a nice idea, but it's kind of gullible, somebody will take over. But she
Mm.
didn't realize it is true, but the whole point of the matter is you got to change the heart of man first, and that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening, isn't it? So
Yeah.
whereabouts was you born then? Like, where was you from originally?
Ohio,
Ohio.
but I've
Okay.
lived in 9 states now.
Wow. Would you say that you were in the Appalachian Mountains at some point, or was that no?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that the southern part of Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, all that stuff. Actually, the Appalachian Mountains are all the way up, but that's the heart of Appalachia. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was actually born in central Ohio and then moved at some point, and I ended up living like 12 years in West Virginia.
Yeah. So are you sort of off grid now? Do you sort of no?
Right now, I'm in between things.
Oh,
I'm getting ready to head back towards that direction.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm literally in Detroit, Michigan area. So I'm in the city right now, and it's not where I wanted to be. Once you get to a certain state, you get out away from everything. It just, and especially as you awaken to things, it just becomes too noisy and aggravating living in the city.
Yeah, I agree. I had to move away from the city because it was just like it's just too much, isn't it, living in the city? Has anyone got any questions coming in? So how long have you had your YouTube channel?
Let's see. This channel, I think I've had a few years. I had one before it that was my name, but I got locked out of it. And YouTube's run by robots and AI, so I can't get a human being to talk to me to get into it to get my other stuff out.
Oh
Which
yeah, your other
it
channel.
wasn't nothing major, but it's pretty
Uh,
much like a great big um, just like me going through my process. That's all these channels have been, is like a blog and that. I've tried to do some videos that I've used software on, just to kind of make something that's more entertaining to say to people. But that's basically all it's been from the beginning, is me going through the same process as everybody else and sharing that with people, which is what a lot of us do on here.
yeah, that's all we can do. I've got to ask you this question. I ask every guest this question, and you can be as honest as you want. Do you believe that we live on a spinning ball as per what we're officially told? Do you believe in the universe? I've got to ask.
Oh man, that's kind of interesting. Look, I'll give it the way that the way that I see it, and I have friends that believe both directions, and it is what it is, and that's why I think it's great that we all get together so we can talk and
Yeah,
realize
no
that we
judgment.
all have stuff in common. I've got plenty of flat Earth friends, but no, the world is some kind of weird globe type of structure, and I just say that because it is alive, it moves around, it's got pressure pushing upon it, so it can be more like this. But yeah, if you want to say globe, I'll go with globe.
The thing is, when I say, because I don't believe we're on a spinning ball, okay, I don't pretend to know. Hello, other side. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. If anyone's got any questions, Eugene is here. He's from his channel is We Are the Conscious Evolution. He's never been on. He came on briefly, and I think Lucy scared him off. Poor Eugene there. The ghost came up. Hello, Refusenick Sean. So Eugene is part Native American. And he's been on a really long, crazy journey, and he's got some really interesting stories. Hello, Skip. So I thought it'd be good to get him on and talk about his own personal journey, and I think a lot of us have some of us have just started it, some of us are on it. I think you never get to the end of it because we're learning all the time. So with me, I don't believe it's not about the shape. I don't know whether I don't think we're a pancake. You know, like we don't think we're floating around space in a pancake. I don't believe in space. I believe that we are stationary and we could be in some sort of matrix simulation, or we could be on a sort of plane. We could be on a cube. Hello, Kate, darling. I don't pretend to know what we're on or in, but I don't believe that there's been so many tests done. There's no curve. It's supposed to curve every 8 mile. If the globe was the globe in the heliocentric model that they give us, if that was true, then we wouldn't be able to use a P900 or a P1000 and zoom in, and it'd
Sorry
be
about that, like.
straight. So I don't believe that we're on a spinning ball, but I don't pretend to know what we're on. So I just wondered what your view was. So do you believe in like the universe, space and planets and stuff?
Yeah, I got that. All I got is what is that? Canon it's got a power shot, 50 zoom lens, and I catch the moon, and
Hi,
well, that's
Tony.
what it is. It's going the wrong direction, of course, right now. Everything's see from what here's the thing, okay? As far as the physical universe, I see what's going on out there as being part fabricated and part real. But you know that we're going through what's some say possibly a trinary, but I say at least a binary uh, solar system, and we're slingshotting around the other solar system, and that's what's speeding up time, or what we call time. You know, so it fits with some of the models that they have, but a lot of what they tell us, I don't believe, because like Saturn, Jupiter, these could be parts of that other one. So what NASA tells us is not completely true. But to get to the core of everything is, it's just quite this simple. And this is why nobody should have any arguments, because come to find out, they've got to look in, and there is a geometric shape. Even Buddhist monks see these shapes, and they're trying to figure out the shape. What it is all of what we call reality. Reality is projected from the shape, meaning this is all basically a giant hallucination, y'all. I'm not trying to be weird by saying that, but then maybe I am. Maybe I want to make you laugh. But the truth of the matter is, it's just light and energy interplaying with consciousness, and our consciousness keying in and saying stuff this way. So I swear to you, I honestly feel that if we all got to that magical state, knowing that we are the all consciousness is one, we could make it shape a triangle. We could live with Pegasus and all kind of stuff. But you know, people hear that and they're like, "Oh, that's not possible." Well, no, it is, because everything is projected from within us. It's all just an interplay of light and vibration. That's all existence is. So what we see as the shape of a planet doesn't even really matter, because I mean, technically, if you change the physics of everything a little bit, or just do that, whatever these vibrations and light are, it all changes anyways.
Yeah, which to me, it's not about the shape; it's about the lie. You know, the whole lie of we are this little
That
speck of dust in the middle of this massive black hole, when we are actually, you know, we are all important, and we are created by God. Do you believe in
that's
God?
why I'm able to get onto a lot of these channels and be like that, because I've went on to like Mud Fossil University. I've looked up these alternative things. I've seen the mesas that they say were created by volcanic stuff, and I'm like, nope, it's tree stumps by giants. But then, you know, I get on some of them channels and I've said stuff, and they found out that I believe the world's round. They're like, cold tart. And I'm like, no, it ain't like that, y'all. You know, we all
Yeah,
have some things in common. You know, I've looked up the stuff with Tartaria, because honestly, I know that the earth has been started over and over. There's been
I agree.
catastrophe
Yeah, there's some
cycles.
things we'll
You
agree on.
know, it ain't like we all just came from to this to whatever, and you know all that. That's all bullshit.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
lies. We're living in
Right.
the greatest movie ever.
The thing is, if you look at, there's a lot of evidence from, for example, like I don't want to stick on flat Earth, but there's a lot of evidence in that NASA they lie, because they are there floating about against green screens, and it's been caught. There's so many times they've been caught with the string, and they don't use the string anymore because they use CGI. They just keep being caught out. It's the constant lie.
Yeah, like the sun. I don't believe that's hot. I believe it's a bunch of it's electricity. Everything. What is that?
Yeah,
Oh God,
I
I can't even
agree.
explain what this guy was trying to say. But Yeah, it's it's an electrical thing, and it's not hot. They say the vacuum of space. From everything I'm reading, there is no vacuum of space. The theory of space going out, that's being proven bullshit. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that
a
is
lot of it
bullshit,
that's
in my
being
opinion.
bullshit. And to be honest with you, I have seen stuff where people have gotten pictures from up there. If you believe the international, whatever this space station is, wherever the hell it's at, if it's
Mm.
real, it has caught stuff on there. I swear to God, if this is in space, then what they told us is totally wrong. Because I'm not trying to be weird, but it's either pterodactyls or something that looks like a pterodactyl or a dragon. I'm not saying it's either, but it looks like it's biological in nature, whatever it is, and it's in what's supposed to be space. So if what they say is true about space, there's no way this could exist. You know.
Exactly.
So there's obviously some bullshit going on somewhere.
Rats on it. There's been rats and mice on the ISS. They've actually caught. It's obviously not there. Hello, Tiff. I've just given you a wrench. I haven't taken it. You didn't have one on this one. You had it on the other one. So I've just given you one. In case you're thinking I've taken your wrench, I haven't, darling.
Well, I think the
Um,
Mars lander and stuff is somewhere. What is that, like New Mexico, Arizona, or
They're
something?
filming it in Devon, in Canada, they say. We've got a question from one man and his detector. If we are if we are a simulation, what are we simulating? Good question. So, what if we're in a simulation? What are we simulating? You mean
Well,
what are we seeing? Is that what you mean? Do you want to explain the question a little bit better? Um, Hello,
there's a
Mickey.
lot of people that say we're in a simulation universe. I wouldn't say it's so much a simulation. It is like holographic nature if you look into what holographic means as far as light and energy.
Okay. You're going
But
to
you know, the whole reason that there's even an existence is because the consciousness, which is what people call God, became aware one day, and we're all little fractals of that. And all we're doing is we're out just living and being
yeah,
and
experience.
experiencing what is. So what is God is the great consciousness that is everything. So we're all part of that, and all that is becoming a great knowledge through there. That's why you hear people talk about the Akashic records. I've seen that when I was 14. That is basically the mind of what people would call God. I just don't like to say God. I like trying to use other ways of
What
describing it because it's more like great energy that is everything.
what do you believe? As in, I believe there is one God. What do you? Because I know everyone's different and everyone's entitled to their own beliefs. What do you believe God is? And do you believe in this collective consciousness that I know, where we're all connected as one? So we're all one consciousness. Do you know what I mean? Do you believe in that?
Well, we are all one consciousness, but the thing is, it's like I said, that consciousness is what we call God, that
Okay, so
great
that's what you.
energy.
Okay.
So we're all part of that, but we are individuals in a fractal. Like picture it like fractals, like in a leaf. The coming out like this. This centralized part would be what is the great energy that we call what is God, and it just fractals out. All that is us. We're all part of that, and we intermingle and learn, and it all goes back into one great central thing that is God. But the whole point, the whole thing is that would be at the end and top part of our journey. That would be an ascension way beyond where we're at now. So like you're saying, we don't stop. We just keep ascending and learning and ascending and learning. But as parts of that fractal consciousness, the fractal parts of that consciousness, we are individual. So we're not like the Borg on Star Trek. It's all
Right.
right to
Okay.
be our individual selves.
But we're
We
all
don't
one.
have to
We're all
erase our
one.
names and be like the guru says and go, I don't have no name now. Nah, screw that, man. I'll give myself a name. Why not? We're playing down here. This is part of the experience. Let's do this.
Okay. So you believe that we are one consciousness, like one. Just think of it as one supercomputer.
Yeah, everything. The birds, the bees, everything's connected. Nature. It's the same way with the natives, throughout the world. They believe that family is everything, including the trees and everything around you. You can feel the energy of it all when you separate. Take away your phone, go off into the woods and just sit. Expect nothing. Just sit. You'll feel it.
Yeah. So what are you, so basically, we've got I'm going to put this back up. So what man this is to saying, for an example, the Sims game, do you know what the Sims game is?
Yeah.
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 So the Sims game simulates human life. So if we are a simulation, what do we simulate? I think the way that Eugene means it is we're in the simulation. Is that what
Oh
you mean?
man, this thing's saying my phone's overheating again. How is that even possible? Hold
It's
on.
StreamYard. It does it a lot.
Yeah, but my
French know
phone.
that way. Welcome in.
Hold on.
That
Let
way
me
is
find it.
one of my friends. It's also, oh no, he's gone. His phone is probably, honestly, StreamYard and phones don't get on at all. Hello, Music Realm. How you doing? I think Simon means what we are. I'm hoping he'll come back. If you're on StreamYard, ideally you need a laptop. You can use StreamYard on your phone. I do, but my phone does overheat. So hopefully he'll come back. Really interesting guy. There's so much to cover. He's got lots of experiences. He's seen UFOs. So we're going to ask. No, Kitty, you're a complete weirdo. And retracting just shows that you're a troll. Weirdo. Tiffany, are you here? Is Tiffany here? And Katie here? This is that. Do you remember that time when you were on Agent's panel? I don't know if Tiffany and Katie are here. A few weeks ago, and there was that crazy woman that came on and started shouting and screaming at you, saying that you were trolling her and you didn't know who she was. And I said, I do, and I was dying of embarrassment. Well, that's her. I don't quite understand what a problem is. Don't get it. I've always been nice to her, but randomly out the blue, she just started freaking out. Really bizarre. Anyway, now it was queer as folk. So anyway, let's hope he comes back, because I've done this stream just for him. Oh, thank you, Katie. So I'm just looking at your messages. Thanks, sweetheart. I'm hoping that Tiffany and Katie are here, so you'll know what I'm talking about. Ricky, Dave, how you doing, Ricky, mate? Dave, I've sent you the link if you want to pop up. I've also sent the link to Mr. Hidden Underbelly. I'm hoping that Eugene comes back. So yeah, I've known him quite a few years. So some of his ideas are quite out there, but there's nothing wrong with that. Mine are. I think we're all a little bit balmy in our own way. Always back is back. I think you've got to be balmy to be on this channel, to be honest. Hello, how are you doing?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, and the picture's a lot better as well. I don't know what you've done.
Well, I took the cover off the phone and I'm in front of a fan. It still says it's overheating. Dang it. I don't understand how it can be overheating. It's not that hot.
It's StreamYard.
I didn't get something in the room.
I'm guessing you haven't got a laptop or a computer or anything.
Yeah, I got to get it fixed to get settled around.
Yeah, the audio's gone again. You do need to keep an open mind. How are you doing anyway, Mickey? Hello, Jeff. How you doing? You can't type, can you?
The audio's gone. Well, that's probably where I turned the stupid fan to cool this down.
It's come back again now. It's just come back. So can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you. It's just this thing that's really.
That's much better. So you were saying about get your questions in. You've seen UFOs, is that right? Oh, the audio's gone again. Julian Assange joined the show again. This is you, Eugene.
Unexplainable.
There you go. You're back. This is David Bruce. Eugene. He's come to help out. I don't know if you can see him.
Not at the moment. I had to take off my reading glasses. I had to walk around trying to phone stay cool. I have my reading glasses on my phone now.
David is very similar to you on your journey. So yeah. Okay. So do you want to tell us a little bit about you've seen UFOs? Oh no.
Light.
I was back.
Fast moving light somewhere up what would be space. I mean, way too high up to be here. But when I was living out in apartments, seen some kind of orb, man. All I know was when I looked at it and I started saying in my mind, maybe it's a radio tower or something. Then it would start moving in directions that radio towers don't move. I thought of everything. I tried to be logical. I'm like, okay, could it be a drone? No, not where this was. In the rain in the middle of the woods, not by anything. Blah, blah, blah. So every time I thought something, it would move a different direction. And by the time I thought to myself, holy crap, maybe it disappeared. But that same place, I also see energies that the only way I can describe is elemental, and then three beings that I'm not sure what they were to this day, if they're guardians or what. Like people say you have guides. I don't know. I really have no idea. But they were in the house with me, and they did not feel like they were bad. But it's kind of interesting. They were only about shoulder length. But I honestly don't think they were like gray aliens or anything. That place seemed to have some really trippy elemental energy. That's all I can explain.
Where was this?
Monroe, Michigan, of all places, because the vibe there was kind of crappy. I was told this might be people who lived there for a while. It's all right town, but there was. It's that like it's not happy. Sorry, I keep going in front of that fan trying to get the phone to stay cool, but the sound goes away whenever I do that. I don't know. I can check see if the temperature's like outside. If it's not bad outside, as long as that sun ain't baking out there, I can go out there.
The heat is brutal where I'm at. It's 104 today.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
See, it's been kind of hot here for being where we're at, but today ain't been real bad. There's been a lot of clouds. It hit 90s in Michigan. That's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Now, where I was at southern Alabama for the last 2 years, it got real hot down there.
Hot and humid. Man.
Uh-huh. It was like at 2 PM. There was nobody in town. Everybody's at home hiding or work hiding, whatever.
Inside.
Yeah. Yeah, road crew people had umbrellas over them.
So it's kind of my theory that this experience is necessary for our souls to progress. What are your thoughts on that theory?
Oh yeah, that's what they say. The Earth is like a big school. That's why reincarnation and all that stuff. It's because this is a great training. You come in without knowing how connected to spirit you are. And
problems.
huh?
Sorry, I'm back. Let me just show you what just happened, right? Dave, you'll be interested in this. I'm just going to show you what has just happened to me when I was live. Okay. Right, I'm just going to put the camera on. It's not doing. Hang on.
I see this little.
Sorry. Hold on. Look at that. Dave, you were flashing between your avatar and you, and Eugene was frozen. I'm going to make it a bit brighter so you can see it better. Hold on. See? It was going between you and your avatar, flickering. And the whole screen just froze and I couldn't do anything. They're messing with something. They're doing it again. Every time we stream, Eugene, we get messed with.
Well, I've got great. Well, never mind. I think we'll be all right.
Well, we do
All right.
seem to get we do seem to have a lot of problems, you know. Dave, what do you think? My fan came on and it just started freaking out.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you can. Let me try and show you again what it did. Hold on.
Well, I think that you're obviously getting attacked, messed with remotely by someone. Don't know who, you know, but
Yeah.
they don't like us.
You see, your avatar is over your
Yeah, that's so freaky.
avatar was flickering over your face, and Eugene was frozen, and yet I could hear him talking.
That is so strange.
Yeah, it's done it before. Sorry, I missed that. Eugene, could you tell us again? So this is Dave. Did you get to introduce yourselves? Because I missed. I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, Eugene. This is Dave. This is David.
Yeah, I'm walking in here to grab my water.
I don't know if he can hear us. Hello, Skywatch.
Yeah, I'm walking in here to grab my water.
Okay, so what state are you in at the moment then?
Who's that?
You. Sorry.
Michigan.
Said he's in Detroit, yeah.
You're in Michigan. Okay. Dave's in Oklahoma. So yeah,
I wasn't too far off from there a little bit ago. I left Alabama to Missouri, but Missouri only lasted about 1 month. Something went wrong. It was a prepper community thing, and one of the guys, I'm not even going to get into it.
Oh, I'm
Stuff
so
got
curious.
weird, and I ended up having to leave, and that's how I ended up in Michigan. Started out in Inkster, and I don't know, just a long story. But yeah, I tried to thing in Missouri with the guy that had a farm, and somebody else from YouTube, and a guy from YouTube. Well, yeah, he was not exactly who he said he was, and I ended up leaving. That's how I ended up back in Michigan.
So what do you sort of, you're not of one, you sort of move around different communities then, like a traveller?
No, actually, I thought I was going to live and die in West Virginia, and it's just literally, I swear to God, I was cutting my own wood and doing some of that stuff, but I was watching a lot of TV, but you know, it wasn't like, you know, the other kind of TV. I mean, I was learning shit, but it was still garbage. But anyways, I just thought that was going to be my life, and then something happened, and I decided to leave. Oh yeah, they had me on like 14 damn pills a day, and I got it in my head. I'd come up to Michigan, get on the medical cannabis thing, and all at the same time, it all just hit. I didn't realize that's when the whole spiritual awakening thing happened.
Okay, so hello, Jen. So, for example, David here, he actually had God come to him. When that happened to you, did you have anything did you have anyone come to you?
Wait, you mean physically?
Physically or sort of mentally? Did you, when you had your awakening, did you have like a visitation or anything like that?
I don't know if to say physically, but I mean, I've always been able to feel what we call, you know, God or the divine realms in my heart. I mean, when I quit drinking 18 years ago, the only way I could describe it to people, because at that point in my life, I was back into the Christian faith, and I told them it was like Jesus giving you a big hug. When I decided to quit drinking, I was at work, and I knew to quit then because I decided to, and when I decided to, my heart lit up, and that's what it felt like. You know, that's the only way I could describe it. So
what made you decide to come off the medication then?
Well, it just I'm one of them people that's constantly researching and looking through stuff, you know, because I know the systems are set up to make money, and it just through doing that, I was like, they're just poisoning us, and it's just scams, and they don't care. They just sell their crap, you know, and kill people. And I've seen people all through where I lived at that were heavy. Like my doctor made it sound like I was in like just really great shape for being 40 some years old. And I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. I said, you should be in great shape at 40 some years old. But there's people that are literally so bad off, eating trashy food, on the drugs they give them, all the stuff they sell on the TV, blah, 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 you know? So.
Yeah. So did you have like an epiphany where you just sort of thought, I'm going to drop all the medication and just go natural?
Yeah, and that's why I ended up moving up here to Michigan the first time, which was 7 years ago. Yeah, it was 7 years ago. That's when I started my whole journey. Started then. I come up here, and I wasn't here but like a month, and I was listening to some Native American flute music, and that's when I realized I was going through a spiritual awakening. But the funny thing is, I wasn't even looking up nothing about spiritual awakening. It was like it was naturally in my head. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I wasn't even thinking about it when it happened. The only freak here is you, Kitty, you weirdo. Fuck off. Sorry, carry on. We've got some weirdo coming in to chat, and she's obviously off her meds again or something. I don't know.
Uh-oh. People like that are fun.
Really strange.
I truly believe that cannabis is like the sunglasses in the movie They Live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It is, if you think about it. And it's funny because that's something that I started with when I was younger. So I guess it's not really any coincidence that it seems like something was opened up in me at a young age. And I went, wait a minute. But at that young age, I had used cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you so do you use cannabis now then? Do you? Do you, is that what you do now to help with whatever? Why were you on it before then? Why were you on medication? Was it for depression or pain?
Who's that, me?
Yeah, sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
Eugene, yeah.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Both
So
things, I mean, I actually had it prescribed here before it went completely legal in Michigan for pain. But yeah, it helps with the mental stuff too, because I never knew how good it was for pain, because when I was younger, a lot of the stuff that we had wasn't that strong. And I didn't have a lot of pain when I was really, when I was in my 20s and stuff. But yeah, it always helped as far as mentally and stuff. And that's why the same thing, I never got big into, a whole bunch of drugs and stuff, but I did, let's see, LSD or acid, whatever you want to call it, mescaline. And I actually, those were all things that I knew were gateways, but not gateways to drugs, gateways to the mind and beyond here. So that's why I experimented with those when I was younger. Then I didn't mess with none of that stuff for 20 years, except for cannabis. I've always used cannabis. And then
There's a reason they call marijuana the gateway drug.
Yeah.
oh really?
Oh yeah.
Just a quick
gateway,
question.
all right.
Dave at Wyatt Earp says, "Where in Missouri did you live, please, Eugene? Eugene. Oh bloody hell!
What was that town called?
Because he's there, aren't you, Dave?"
It was basically, it would be south. I would say central, because it was probably about middle ways. So it's right out of Arkansas. You probably went in. What was it? I think 2 counties in. I'd have to think about that one. I got a friend who's still out there. Well, a few friends. That one dude ended up leaving.
You might. Which town are you in? We've got a question from Music Realm. Have you ever used? We can ask both actually, but we'll ask Eugene first. Have you ever used DMT?
No, I've had a couple opportunities, but it wasn't the right setting to do so. And to me, that's a major spirit medicine.
Isn't that taken out of a human or something? Don't they suck it out of a gland or something?
No. Well, it comes from the ayahuasca plant.
Oh, I thought that they pulled it out of your pituitary gland.
Well, it's in all things. Come to find out, it's one of the most abundant things in all nature, but there's not big enough quantities of most stuff. Now, there is, like in willow, some things that grow, like with the ayahuasca, all those different things. And it is produced within the human being, and they say mainly big doses at death and at birth. But there are people that go into gamma or maybe gamma theta frequency combination type of weird, like really deep, crazy meditation stuff that report doing that. And I honestly believe I can actually produce DMT coming from within myself. And that's why I have to be very careful with mushrooms, because I did some stuff, some shamanistic stuff a couple years ago, Alabama, 4.5 grams of mushrooms, and it was beyond. It felt beyond that. But the reason I think why is because I can lay there and go into meditation and roll my eyes back and focus on my pineal gland, and I can get all kind of flashes. And I've been doing that for years. Well, the other day I got one that was just really out there. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like smoke and electricity.
Can David, do you want to explain to John what DMT is? Because John, lol. Do you want to just give us David? Can you give a brief overview of what DMT is?
Dimethyltryptamine is
and so it comes from a plant, you say?
Well, it comes from a lot of places, but it's very hard. It's in such small quantities, as Eugene was saying, that it's very hard to collect, and it has this tendency to deteriorate very quickly. It's hard to keep it in a stasis in any quantity. They've discovered how to do that with the ayahuasca plant.
Okay, so I read that they can take it out of the gland of children. Is that true?
I think that is the adrenochrome.
Okay, yeah. So this is what I was reading that
no, but you
I know
can get
adrenochrome, but I was read that they can take it out of the pituitary gland as well. So that isn't that then?
Yeah, no. There's a certain kind of toad you can get it from, and that's what Mike Tyson used, and that's the most powerful version of it.
Yeah. Have you heard about the toad, Dave?
Yeah.
You lick a toad. So is it similar to LSD then?
It's kind of like way beyond that.
It's a different chemical.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever done it, Dave?
I haven't. I wanted to for a long, long time, but I didn't have the opportunity. And then when the opportunity arose, I've got a message from God that says that has told me at this time to stay away from hallucinogens.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, Eugene was
that's
just
the way
saying
you got to do it.
What, to stay away from it, or you've got to do it to connect. What in which way? Sorry, who said that? Then you've got to do it. I missed that bit. I was on a different page. Do you do hallucinogenics, Eugene?
No, I was saying as far as him what saying to stay away from those are religious sacraments, plant medicine. So it's not something that anybody should just do. You let your higher self tell you when and where. That's why I did mushrooms once in 20 years. It took me I just did some microdosing and other stuff. And then when I got to the point where I did the major amount, learned what I needed to, I stopped and I ain't touched them since. But that's because I don't need to at the moment. There's no reason.
Yeah, it's not a recreational thing. It's an expanding your mind thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So
now, caveat to that: back in the day, it was a recreational thing for me. I was doing acid and ecstasy and coke and whatever,
Okay, you want a quick story here? I had turned around and did 3.5 hits of acid at a place. Somebody just asked me, "You ever been over here before?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't know this neighborhood." And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, I know this." I said, "This is the East Side." I said, "Harpo's." I said, "I used to hang out there." I went to a concert with 2 bands. This is death metal, Napalm Death and Obituary, on 3.5 hits of acid, and it was so intense. I had to leave when the second band came on. It was crazy. Because I understand, we all do stuff when we're younger.
Yeah. Well, have you ever done LSD then, Dave?
Oh yeah, I took a couple of hits of acid, and I was at a ministry concert at Kane's Ballroom, and somebody let off a tear gas grenade in the crowd, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
everybody ran out, and it was crazy, and I was tripping my balls off. But I was just giggling. It was so much fun, man.
What was that? Sorry, the ministry. Is that a group?
Yes.
Yeah, I seen
Je-
ministry.
Jesus Built My Hot Rod is probably their most famous tune.
Yeah.
We were talking about God before, Dave. So, are you of the same belief that God is that we are God? Do you believe in? Sorry, Eugene. Do you believe that we are God and we are just one big consciousness? Like, or do you not believe that there is a creator, like one person, who? Because everyone's entitled to their own opinions, aren't they? I've got no problem with anyone believing different things. Are you of the thoughts of we're all connected as to one consciousness, and there's no sort of higher power?
Well, that one consciousness, I do believe is a higher power. So sorry, I just had to chime in that because God's hard to explain.
Yeah, I was just asking you first because I was going to ask Dave what he thinks God is.
Yeah.
Well, it's difficult to try to explain the unexplainable and the unfathomable. And like I'm new at the whole God thing, if you will. Um, so
You
for
don't
me
know.
to give a perception of or explain what God is, I can't, because I just don't know.
Yeah, I get you. It was just more what what your thoughts are. You don't have to. No one knows if they're right or not. Do you, out of interest, Dave, and then I'll ask Eugene, do you believe in Jesus? And there's no right or wrong answer. It doesn't matter if you do or you don't. It's not a trick question.
I do, because of a couple of reasons.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I
Um,
thought you were going to say what they were.
yeah.
You
Sorry for
don't
the
have
pause
to,
there.
because it came to you.
Yeah. Um, what Jesus did, and this is an elephant in the room that no one is addressing, is that what Jesus did was his sacrifice, um, made got away with the necessity of any blood sacrifice to God. So it's no longer necessary to sacrifice your children to God.
Oh, okay. So that's what
But
you believe, that's why Jesus
that's
died
that's
for
the
us.
big deal of Jesus. That's the big thing that Jesus did that nobody seems to really get.
That's interesting. That's a really interesting way of looking at it. I'll take it to you now, Eugene. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? And again, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no sort of,
I could probably talk about that subject for hours.
Okay.
Being raised Christian and then going my own direction and stuff. But yeah, I believe in the man that they call Jesus as Yeshua. Um, I also believe that this person existed, that they got a lot of what was said and truly being taught wrong. The being even said, we will do greater things than he. He's trying to teach us to be like him. And everybody throughout my life says, you can't be like, you can try to be, similar to him, but you can't be like Jesus. Why not? That's what he was trying to teach. Oh, because he is God or the Son of God. Look, you're confusing me, people. That's why I went on my own direction on that one. But to this day, from the stories that I see, it looks like the being that was Yeshua actually studied with with other groups. There was only certain schools back then, so he studied with the Buddhists and the different people. There's stories of a man that resembles him going around these areas trying to teach and telling them that the established religions and control systems are wrong. And this person was chased around and went all the way back to where Jesus started out, which I find kind of interesting. But yeah, I so much believe so that I've studied to see if this person is real and what it represents. And in the end, through religious and spiritual studies, it comes down to what is Yeshua as one of the ascended masters and as what they call a logos of what the universe is, meaning the universe was built from love. What is God is the closest thing we can call it is love. Jesus was created. What is Jesus was created from that in the higher realms and sent here as an example. Problem is, well, you know how it is when they hijack information. So the truth ain't in the books the way it should be.
Well,
Yeah.
the example is being obscured.
Yeah, on purpose. They
Yeah.
don't want us to know what the truth of it is, because when we all come together, you know, the way in which we're taught, then all this shit ends. There is no separation. It's always been conquer and divide, all the way back to when, they say humans were beating each other with clubs, or cave people or whatever they want to say. It doesn't matter. It all goes back to that conquer and divide mentality.
The first, oldest, and most successful military tactic: divide and conquer, and it works every single time.
Well, you think about what's happened in this country after Operation Paperclip, and they got all the Nazis over here. They learned a lot about propaganda from the way that Hitler ran stuff. And that's how our news and all that stuff is based. It's the whole Western world's that way, especially, the UK and the United States. We're like mirrors of each other. To be technically true, a lot of the Americans don't know, but pretty much the UK owns this country. After the Depression, something happened, that stupid, what is that, Federal Reserve Bank. If you look into it all, it's pretty much the United Corporation of America. They're pretty much the UK is in control of the financial shit and
I
pushing
agree with that.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't mean to offend you guys over there, but I don't think you ever got free of us.
Well,
I think it was just
if you look at it seriously, it doesn't
I
look
might.
that way. It looks like we were bullshitted.
Yeah, I think it was. Do you know what? I believe it was. There was too many people for this little island, so they wanted to do an overspill, and they stuck you all over there and pretended that you mixed up with all the other European
Oh,
countries.
like Australia.
Yeah, we sent all the prisoners over there, didn't we? When you think about this little country where I am, we ruled the whole world. Really, it's insane, and it's like we just sort of stuck people everywhere. Hey girl, hey girl's here, David Bruce. How you doing, sweetheart? So it's really interesting there. So you believe that Jesus came. Hello, Benet. So you believe that Jesus is sort of come from the higher realm. So you believe that we have higher and lower realms? Because I think I believe that as well.
Yeah, I don't believe traditionally in hell, because I know that shit was taken from Dante's Inferno and stuff. But from what it seems like the lower fourth density or dimension, whatever you want to call it. I call it density because dimensions are usually internal within kind of thing when we think of them. But there's no right or wrong answer to that crap. But yeah, it seems that there is a lower dimension, and there are certain vortices or points on this earth where some of these things come in, what people call demons and stuff. I've seen a lot of weird stuff. My brother had something happen when he was a kid, and that caused me to shut all my stuff down. I actually said a prayer, and I said, I don't want any abilities. I don't want to see anything that's not within this density. I said, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. So I do believe there are demons, but whether they are some sort of interdimensionals, I don't know. I know that some people don't believe in different dimensions. I'm starting to. I had another experience again today, Dave. I know they were talking about these. When I get a bit emotional, like not even majorly emotional, slightly emotional, things are really starting to move now. So one of the bunnies was chasing one of the other bunnies, and I said, "Oh, you naughty, naughty," and all of a sudden these the clothes that I'd piled up I was going to start folding, just started dropping and moving, because I said, naughty. It was like my slight emotion just started making things move. I don't understand it. Have you ever experienced that, Dave?
Not I have been psychically numb for a long, long time.
I don't know how to. Eugene, have you ever had anything like that happen where things move?
I've had, like, I go to do something or move something, and it goes a weird direction, and I know that's when emotions are high. But not particularly like that. But I do know many that have, and it seems to be showing up in a divine feminine. And from what I'm seeing, you all are getting in touch with a certain side before the guys are, because I literally have had female friends tell me they've changed the weather.
Wow. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I've turned the TV on and off a few times.
Yeah.
Haven't I, Dave? The TV's gone on and off, and things.
Well, that's electromagnetic
Yeah.
energy is everything.
It
Yeah, your
is.
heart.
We
Your
are.
heart's putting that out.
We're
Well, see,
electricity.
yeah, if you think about it, our hearts are what's being lit up right now, and that's it. It's your great. It's turn on that heart magnet, and that's what it is. Electromagnetic frequency generator. My mom actually couldn't wear watches, but I think they said it had something to do with her blood. I'm not sure, but
Oh,
yeah, that's
really?
interesting.
Hello, Peter. Hello. Who's just come in as well? Paula. Hello, sweetheart.
I
Yeah,
have a
Maybe that's
friend
it.
who electronic devices don't last very long around her.
really.
I
What's her
heard.
blood type? Do you know?
What's that?
What's her blood type? I'm just thinking, could it be that?
I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
That's because it's worth looking into that. Is she a plus or a negative? You know?
I'm thinking it has to do with that divine feminine heart space because it would be electromagnetic frequencies throwing stuff off. And if your all's hearts are lighting up, then maybe that's what's doing it. Yeah, because emotion. When you put your emotion, yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Sure.
Exactly. What is emotion? You know? That way says all is sound vibration. Jesus or Jesus, same sound, same vibration. You're going through hell, keep going. Sorry, I can only go back so far, so I am reading your comments. Paula has had that happen many times. Think about it. We are, because I the way I see it is that we are advanced AI. Our bodies are robots, really. They've got a brain, they've got a
It's a
heart.
machine. It's a machine. Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, we're a machine. We've got, we're all hooked up and everything has to work smoothly for us, otherwise we die. And it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot find the soul within the machine, like you just can't. It doesn't matter how hard they look. So it's obvious that there is a consciousness in this machine. And we are all electrical beings. And when you think about all this 5G and everything else we can't talk about, it's obvious, isn't it? It's going to interfere with us because we are electrical beings.
Well,
And
you know about the disappearance of the honeybees, yeah?
yeah,
Right.
we've got them here, but they're not as many as what they were. Yeah.
Right. Now, do you know when the bee population started going down?
Is it about 10 years ago? Was it 4G?
No. They started going down when cell phones first started being used. They just didn't make the correlation. But cell towers, they did an experiment. They took a mobile phone, not a mobile phone, but a radio phone, the house phone, landline, but it's got a radio that you can walk around with, They set this phone on a beehive. The bees abandoned the hive and never returned.
Oh, and
Actually,
yet,
that's
why
when
So,
aren't they doing anything
noise
about
started.
this?
yeah, the ringing in the ears, tinnitus. I'd never.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever heard of tinnitus before the cell phone
Well,
started?
yeah,
No.
well, it's one of them things that was around, but you didn't know many people that had it because the person that had tinnitus, somebody shot a 12 gauge shotgun by their ear or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was a rare
It wasn't
thing.
common though, was it? It's everywhere now.
I think it is that. It's saying that with what you just said about them bees. I seen birds freak out, man, and start attacking them 5G. I mean, just started attacking that tower like
Yeah.
it's seen a giant something that was going to eat it.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
it was on YouTube.
I
Yeah.
wonder. We've seen the video of the birds falling. We watched that
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. The other day,
Could
I
that
it?
can
was
feel it,
insane.
man. I can feel the energy from these things. Dude, I'm right in the heart of it. I'm right by two big main roads, got airplanes overhead. Shit, I feel buggy as hell. I guarantee you, I go down there and sit in the woods for 10 minutes, and I'll feel like I'm melted into the ground and normal again. It is. You can feel all that excess energy. You got cell
Yeah.
phones. You got the shit with it coming out of the airplanes. The airplane people were even saying they're putting out too much radiation from the cell phone towers, and it might mess with their electronics. Well, I hate to say it, but I've told people I try to keep a lot of not say too good to scare people, but I've seen airplanes falling out of the skies in my visions, and the problem is all them visions I seen came true.
Really. I think is it Arakod's got a question. So when you say you've had visions that have come true, Eugene, as in what? What sort of visions have you had and that have come true?
Well, they're all the sketchy, like the shit that this, you know, when you see them in your like in my dreams, because they get mixed around in dreams, but you know, right as they're going to happen, and like the Ferguson, Missouri stuff, and the protests here, you know, when they went into all that crap, where they started leaving the bricks and stuff for people to get stupid, and then I seen something that was set up that came in from inside the country, and that was what they called the insurrection, which was another BS thing, you know, another
Yeah,
setup,
it was nothing
you
really, was
know.
it? That was just a non-end compared to what Antifa have done. That was a
Yeah,
nothing burger.
It
yeah,
looked
and the
it was
tornadoes.
it was a rogue tour, is what that was.
You look at Antifa and BLM, what they've done. The BLM have just destroyed businesses. They've killed people. Over here, BLM, where one of them actually broke a horse's jaw, punched a police horse in the face.
Jeez.
That's okay though, because it's BLM. But
Yeah, this one guy
any
I watched did the same
patriots
thing.
take to the streets, they're arrested straight away, dragged off, beaten. You know, anyone that's
That's
against the establishment.
That's because it's set up. That shows you that right there. The guy at the Oppenheimer Ranch channel saying the same thing yesterday, and we all know this. You just got to watch where you're at saying certain things. But we know those organizations are basically terrorist organizations. The horrible
Yeah,
thing is, in this country, they're trying to pass a bill to where if your bumper sticker says certain stuff, they can get you as an enemy of the state. Enemy of the state. All right, we're entering another one of them stupid movies again. That shit ain't happening. That's why I say, you know, everybody needs to unite together, quit fighting over don't vote for none of these idiots. They're all idiots. Let the systems fall. There's people rebuilding and behind the scenes right now doing stuff. When they was talking COVID and all this crap, there was literally people going to start their own airports and just these different services. People are already homeschooling. Let the systems fall. Don't argue anymore.
yeah,
Unite as
I
one
homeschool
and screw this
aware.
stuff.
Yeah, I've been homeschooling from since he's never been to school. He's always been homeschooled.
He will be so much more brilliant than the sheep. Man.
Yeah, he's yeah. I was just looking to see if I could find that article now. It was from 2020. Because I want to see if they've covered it up. And they've
School teaches
changed
us to
that.
conform. School teaches
Yeah, it's an
conformity.
institution. That's why, dude. I swear to God, I felt that way the whole time I was in school. By the time I just turned 17, I quit. And that's what I didn't put the correlation together till I got older. I'm like, it always felt like an institution. Now I know why. It's supposed to.
I never ever wanted to fit in.
No, me neither. And the thing was, I didn't try to or not, but it always was the same thing. There was like 3 or 4 people in that whole school, and we were friends, and we didn't worry about what anybody else did. Nobody knew who we were. We were like nobodies.
Yeah, just looking at chat. Yeah, I'm wanting. Just think the soul gets in the body gets in the clothes get in the car, which drives into a ship which floats in the water. So what do you think? I'll ask Dave first, then Eugene. What do you think when you die? And again, I'm not saying you're going to be right or wrong, but just what are your thoughts?
I hopefully transcend this physical existence into to something better. I don't know, something different.
Yeah, something.
Hopefully better.
Yeah. What do you think? And then I'll ask Arakod's question. Eugene, what do you think happens when we die?
You go back to the spirit world. You look
Where
at
we
what you've done in this world, and then you decide what you're going to do and where you go next.
Do you think we
You
come back as like a different mammal, or like an animal or an insect or something?
No, I think once you hit everything evolves in a certain. Now I'm not saying this is fact. My views are always constantly changing as I learn too. But it seems that everything is evolving to higher states, and this you to the state where you're human, whatever you want to call it, soul, this kind of being. No, what it does end up happening, well, what seems to be happening is, see, a lot of people believe that God's punishing you. I don't think so. from all the reading and stuff, what it looks like is actually happening is there's the part of you, the highest part, the soul part, that's literally still connected to what is God, you know. And after you leave this, you decide at that point if what you did when you were down there gave you what you wanted as far as your experience. Did you learn from it? You know, for like, I tell people, for example, you know, you might go up there like, well, why certain people? Now I hate to say this too, because a lot of people say this, and it's really a sticky situation, a topic to talk about. Like, you know, somebody coming back as handicapped, saying that some people decide that to try and learn more in life. You know, so when you say that, a lot of times people start thinking you're not empathetic or whatever, and it's not. I'm very empathic, but and compassionate, but you know, we have to try and make sense out of what is actually going on, and that's about the best I can come up with, because I know that what we call God cannot be vengeful, hateful, and loving all at the same time. It just makes no sense, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I've got the question now from Aricon. Okay, so what do you think happens to the souls of people who committed suicide? We'll go back to Eugene first, because he's just yeah. We'll do Eugene first, and then we'll go to Dave.
Well, I'll say this, and it's not because I know people that committed suicide, but it's just like with anything. There is no punishment. You go to the other side, and you figure out there, you know, did you waste what you're trying to do here? You know, regroup, you know, heal. But I don't believe that anybody is punished anywhere. Like I said, I don't believe there's an actual hell. I do believe there's a lower density where some beings tend to be. But if God's what we say God is, then God could snap, you know, let's say like at the snap of fingers, you just don't exist, or you're transmuted back into something. So there would be no point in punishment, you know. But my cousin hung himself. My mom, from the, you know, what I found, it seems that she went out that way, and I had another close friend that shot himself. But I've seen my mom afterwards, before they, you know, laid her to rest, and she seemed at peace, a total peace. And I knew at that moment, mom's on the other side with the rest of them, you know,
So do you
wherever
not?
that is.
Yeah. So if you take your own life, do you not believe that you
Yeah,
sort of don't go to heaven, or you know? I know that a lot of people do believe
yeah,
that.
yeah. Some people believe that you get punished for it, and I don't. A lot of people don't understand that what you got to do is you got to look at this earth from the point of the higher beings, and they'll tell you it's like a great big slavery thing. That's why God's doing what you know, whatever we call God's doing, with all of us being here right now, is changing all this, because what has been done down here, and what has been done down here, causes people to have certain reactions that are way out of whack, beyond drugs, mental illness, and stuff. But you're living in a slavery system where they're literally trying to train you from a young age to be a slave to this system. You know, you don't have a lot of these kind of crazy issues within tribal communities and native communities and stuff. This shit is bred by us being a slave to a system. I can't just walk out one day and go, you know what? I don't want to be part of that working world. Why don't I go build a cabin over here? Well, you can't do that. That's against the law. You know, you got to buy the land. What do you mean buy the land? You know, so you don't have any choice. And sometimes that pushes people into certain directions. So I don't believe that, you know, anyone would be punished for such, you know, but they might go to the other side and look back at their life and go, you know, I could have helped a lot of people in life. Why did I leave so early? So I don't know. That's my thought.
Mm. And what do you think, Dave, in your opinion? Again, there's no right or wrong answer. Do you believe that if you commit, what do you think happens to the people who have committed suicide? Let us know in chat as well what you're thinking.
Well, I don't I couldn't fathom what happens. Maybe you have to do it again. Um, I kind of get the perception of if you exit early, if you get off the ride early, you don't pass the test.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm half and half with you there. I don't know, but I can see where you're coming from, because it's like quitting, isn't it? You know, they say you won't get into. Hello, David Banner. How you doing, mate? And again,
Well,
and I'm not saying that people who have committed suicide and the families of them aren't going to go to heaven, because I don't know, but I get that. Earthworms will be the new onion rings, deep fried. It's when you think it's got
see,
a reason to be
the
here.
the thing about suicide is the Oh, the waves of pain that they cause that the person that committed suicide didn't intend, but they happen anyway.
Yeah. A lot of people that commit suicide are just hurting themselves and they don't mean to kill themselves, do they?
I've had 2 friends do it now, so you know.
Really? Did they mean to?
Yeah, well, my friend in high school hung himself. He was having some drug problems and family problems, and yeah, it was not good.
That's awful. I'm so sorry.
And then my buddy from uh, he he's a Marine. He'd been in Afghanistan a couple tours, and he'd seen some pretty terrible things. And the VA had him on Xanax to help quell his anxiety.
Mm.
And then when he wouldn't get stuck, they decided that he didn't need Xanax from them anymore. And he killed his wife and himself and shot a police officer. So
I remember you tell that was last year, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Is he in prison now?
No, he's dead.
Oh, did he actually die? No, he shot himself. Oh my wow!
Yeah, yeah, he died.
You went through a lot last year,
Yeah, that happened the day after my dad died. So,
and you lost your son as well, didn't you?
and my son and my grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah,
Have you have that? I just can't imagine. You're so strong for what you've been through.
what
It's
doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
it's true. It's true. Sorry, I'm just reading this. Hello, Raz Allusion. Hello, how are you? What do you mean by the land? He said, how can you build a cabin there on that land and say another man couldn't build twice as large right next to you? You will claim that land. Oops. It's true. It's true, is that? Yeah, Dave has been through a lot. I think the last 18 months have been absolute hell for Dave. Have you ever had any children, Eugene? You don't have to answer.
Yeah, I got a stepdaughter up here. I got a daughter in Ohio. A couple grandkids down there.
Yeah. Do you ever see them?
Actually, I was with them all the way up till I left West Virginia. So I was with them when they was born and everything. And then I went on my little journey.
Yeah, I think I can understand why you had to go on that journey, because if you're having an awakening, I think if I was not married when it happened and didn't have Jack, I think I would have probably done something similar. Because you've just got to follow, haven't you, whatever you're feeling, and you've just got to
Yeah,
follow your heart.
exactly. It didn't happen till after I got divorced and my kids were all grown up and stuff, and then it was just me and the dog. And then it was so weird. It was like, okay, I'm completely ending the book, not just a chapter, this whole book on what was this previous life, and that's when my dog ended up getting taken out last year, which was strange because I've also been through a lot of death in the family, and I lived, in an area of West Virginia where we literally dug, people we knew's graves and stuff, and I did all that stuff, but nothing quite bothered me like the dog. Well, I was not counting my mom, but that was kind of a weird one.
I agree. It's like I said to you yesterday. I said yesterday that when when you lose a parent and you come home to that dog or that animal, that's your crux and that's your support. When that's gone, because when you come home at night, you shut the door and whatever's there with you is your support. And losing your dog must have been just horrendous. It's just awful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my dog has cancer, so yeah, I can
Oh
relate.
no, Dave.
Yeah.
How old is he or she? Oh,
She's
she,
9.
Sophie.
Yeah,
Have you only got one?
yeah, only Sophie.
She's 9.
Yeah,
Can they do anything for her?
nah.
I send you out some positive energy, man. I know how it is. Mine was supposed to die of old age. He was 16, but unfortunately something happened. He's got senile. I got to watch him get run over. That's why I kind of got messed up. I literally talked to a psychic, man, but it's a friend, and Literally, she talked to my dog. I swear to God, I know she did. Well, whatever the soul is of the dog. I don't know what happens to dogs after they leave Earth.
Mhm.
Probably the same as humans. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
hoping so.
Do you
Yeah,
think you'll have another one? You know,
me?
like either of you, yeah. Like, would you have another one while she's still here, so that when
No,
she's
no,
gone, she's be there? No.
no, and I'm afraid I might have to get mobile here before too long because if the power goes out and the city's not going to work, you got to get out. So
Yep. That's why I'm getting the hell out of here before Western society collapses, man. I'm in the epicenter of what would be a like
you,
Bartertown and Mad Max
yeah,
Beyond Thunderdome.
you are in a hot place right there, brother. I praise God to be where I am. I feel blessed. So
Well, I tell you, once I got out to West Virginia, spent 12 years there, came back here, it was almost like shock, man. I'm like, that's it. I can't do this. I got too countrified. I'm getting the hell out of here.
I used to travel all over the place and to these big cities and work on installing routers and stuff. And yeah, I prefer the simple life.
Yeah, gotta move slower, man. These people move around so fast, and it's all just to make money, buy more shit, make money, buy more shit. Consumers, consumers, consumers. Concrete, blacktop everywhere. I'm like, this is ridiculous. We don't need to consume so much shit. And why do you got blacktop and concrete everywhere? Uh, I'm getting too old for this crap.
That is
I
the
don't
world.
feel old, but too old for this stuff. I feel like 50's, like starting life. Well, if I'm going to restart life, I'm getting to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I missed your bit about seeing UFOs. Sorry, because my laptop went. Could you just tell me again, please, Eugene? Did you say you're seeing some UFOs or some lights or something?
Well, for me, like I said, I seen a weird light when I was crossing Michigan Avenue once when I was younger, but I can't really say anything about it other than the light spectrum I'd never seen and it moved too damn fast. But then I had that incident over there at the apartment where I seen the elementals with that sphere was blue. And I started trying to figure out in my head, could it be a drone? No, it's raining, it's over, there's woods over here. I was like, maybe it's a tower, and then it started moving sideways. So every time I would try to use some kind of, I guess, three-dimensional logic to explain this thing, it kept reacting, and it was at that point I realized it was tapping into my consciousness and reacting to my consciousness to show me that it was real, whatever the hell it was. And after some time, about the best I could get was a lot of people report it's some kind of conscious entity. I can't say if it's really like the spirit, how these things travel, but they seem to be traveling in orbs. It's not a machine. It's some kind of conscious entity traveling about in the form of an orb. But that doesn't surprise me because they've took pictures of humans with these orbs coming from us, some kind of energy signatures.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of entities. What do you think, Dave? Like UFOs and stuff. Do you think that they're actual entities? Because I do. Because they're sort of like this. We're seeing more and more orbs in the sky rather than what your traditional UFOs.
Yeah, I'm not real certain. I know everything that you see on the media about the footage from the planes and all that. That's all bullshit. Every bit of it is bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, it's misdirection from what's really going on, and I don't really know what's really going on.
I believe that some of these entities do exist. Here's the problem with everything they show as far as space. The space might be not exactly what we think because they said it might actually be something that's compressed. It seems like everything's traveling in wormholes. They say everything is overlaid on everything, so maybe it's all just right here. But I do believe these other entities exist. I don't so much see spaceships flying in here. If they say what's right about space and the plasma that's surrounding this damn solar system anyways, nothing can get in or get out through traveling through space, and you can't, speed of light ain't going to get it. You have to bend time and space. You have to actually move space. And if everything is pretty much just energy and light, you can. So I believe that
these beings, a lot of these beings exist and are coming in interdimensionally, and everything that's being reported is, like I said, lower dimensional things. You're getting what people report as a jinn or demons and stuff like that. Some of these other ones are calling aliens, and some of them are calling angels. I've seen what people call these angels, and I've seen their wings, these archangels, and their energy, just energy pouring back off of them. They're really high dimensional beings that are close to whatever it is that we call God. And these
We've got
other
a
beings
question
that
about
people
your
call
blue light,
aliens,
Eugene. Did it flash your blue light that you've seen in the sky? Ask Samuel.
yeah, but it didn't flash like a regular light would. It flashed a couple times. That's about it. Outside of that, it like would move, sideways, like when I thought it was a FMN tower. Instead of lighting up and down, it moved sideways, and then it eventually just blinked out and disappeared.
Yeah. David Banner says there is no space. We were talking about this earlier, Dave. I was saying to Eugene, I don't believe that we have space either.
Well, see, then that would make sense with the
UFOs.
dimensional thing, then, because everything's coming in from dimensions. I don't believe these beings are traveling here in spaceships. That's why I think the orb was what it was. These beings come in as energies and then manifest themselves as whatever they manifest themselves as. And a lot of us, this is where we get weirder going into that. People talk about the star seeds thing and stuff. But a lot of us are these entities. These
Yeah,
natives
I
that spoke to
agree.
the Palladians and the Syrians. Some of us are these beings that they said would come back.
But how do we know who is going back to UFOs? Like they talk about extraterrestrial, it's the extra terrain. They've come across the extra terrain from what I think Antarctica. There's like a big ring of ice all the way around, and what is beyond that is the question, and that is how I think that's why they're called extraterrestrials. It's extra.
Yeah. Now I'll go along with it. That might make some sense with some things that I've been like looking up and seeing, and it seems like there are some beings that are not from outer space that are here. We just don't know of them because like inner Earth shit around Antarctica, shit starting to, they start to melt in Antarctica, and they're blacking it out. So on the Google thing and shit. Well, there's reasons for all this stuff. They know what's actually there. And it has to do with these past civilizations, the civilizations that seem to still be living here. And one of them could be possibly the Greys, which I don't know. That's a whole nother freaking can of worms. But
Have you
yeah,
ever
I do believe that some of these, like you're saying, could be beings that's always been here.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one of these greys?
No, but I had woke up one night in the middle of my sleep, just out of nowhere, and I swear to you, it looked like a rip, like in the dimensions was opening up, and I swatted it away, and that's the only thing that came to mind was it's a gray gonna step out of there.
Have you ever seen a ghost? Oh,
So,
well, is his phone?
transmute them all.
There we go. Sorry, what did you've not seen
Oh, sorry.
anything like that, no?
No, I haven't actually seen the actual grays. Like I said, the only thing I've seen, I've seen the elementals and then three beings that walked in with me that night, but it was outlines. The best way you could describe them would be like smoky or foggy images, shapes. But to see the
We've
actual
asked him
beings,
this,
and
David Banner, but hello, Sid. How you doing, mate? I've seen a ghost in chat. I've seen two. Sid, are you okay? I think I told you I've got Lucy in tomorrow. Thank you so much for. Yeah, if anybody else wants to help Lulu, you can. I know that Sid's given loads, so yeah, tomorrow at 10:15. David Banner asks, and we've already asked you this, but I'm going to ask you again just to put you on the spot. What shape is the Earth, Eugene? Eugene's got flatty friends, Dave. He's sort of on the fence. He's not a globe.
if it was up to me, it'd be a triangle because I think triangles are really cool, especially like the pyramid. Just the geometry of it. That'd be badass.
Dave is open, aren't you, Dave, to this? You're not sure?
I'm sort of the opinion that it's anything you want it to be.
Okay, so it's like a simulation then.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, I got a lot of friends who say that, and that's why I never argue this shit. Because for one, who knows? I've never been to outer space. For two, who really cares? We're living in something that's really cool. We have existence and consciousness, and that's excellent. And three, yeah, if it is all a great big thing that we're projecting from in ourselves, then it only makes sense by that teaching that it's whatever the hell we're projecting. So if you project a flat Earth or a Earth that's like the one that got the little like kind of concave down the bottom. I don't know, it looked kind of like an island I seen one time. Anyways, whatever version you're picturing, if that's your reality, and what they say, we all have these own little individual realities that are our timelines, then it should be whatever you're projecting.
I get that, but what we're talking about is actually talking about the heliocentric model, what they give us. Like what they say is what we're on, and that's it. And then what do we going by their science, and we can very easily disprove their science. And once you disprove their science, and they are left having to accept that they've lied, admit that they've lied, that's when the whole system will come crashing down. Because I believe there
Well,
are other civilizations that probably have free energy. That's what the pyramids were. They want us away from that. They want us to believe in this
I
ridiculous.
believe the moon's possibly a ship.
Yeah, I do. Or some sort of control station or something like that.
Death Star.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The Death Star. That's where
Death
they got
Star.
the
Yeah,
idea from. They got the idea from the damn moon.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I've, I've
exactly what
I've had a
David.
camera that focuses in real good, and I focused in on that, man. I'm like, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm gonna see something. I know I am.
Just some doors open up and a big laser cannon come
Yeah,
out.
yeah, like Marvin the Martian or something.
Yeah, I don't know what shape the shape doesn't. Hello, Parkway. God, it's been a while since you've been here. Hello. Let's give you a wrench.
Right,
Earth is
the shape doesn't matter, but
no, it doesn't. It's
why
just
lie? Why lie to us? And so what truth is being obscured?
yeah that we're not on this. They want us to believe that we're a little speck of dust, that we're not important, that we're just in this these things bang together and there's no God, because it doesn't. People seem to forget that if you believe in evolution, if you believe in the heliocentric model, there is no God, and that's what they want. They want us away from God, and that's it really. They don't want us knowing that if we leave this fishbowl, because we're in a fishbowl, if we leave
See,
it, there's other fish bowls.
yeah, most of
You
the
know,
people that I know of are globers,
yeah.
um, and most people I know are claim to be believers in God. So
Really? Well, yeah, but when you question them, um, Ricky just
yeah,
breathed.
yeah. The thing is the believers, Christians, whatever, are pretty milk toast in the modern world.
Yeah, I think a lot of the religious people, but you can believe in God and not be religious, and they don't want that. They want us all in these little, in little boxes. You're that religion. You're that religion. They don't want people like us that don't conform to any religion.
Because
Hello,
we don't
sheepdog.
need religion. Religion was created by man to control the spirituality. Spirituality was nothing. It was just there. What is God was always within people. The native peoples knew that stuff. But that's what they did. They created these horrible things, and that's why there's so many Bible books missing. That's why King James did what he did to the Bible. That's why it's all been screwed up many times over and over and over. They created their own religion. I mean, you can look at the Catholic Church, not to get on anything, but hey, when you start going bishop and this and that and kissing rings and a pope, and are you kidding me? They said within the religion itself to not worship anything outside of God. Well, that sounds like worship to me, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. What does Terry Knowles asks? What does milk toast mean?
Um,
Does it mean it melts? It's squishy.
eh, Basically soft, um, meh,
Work together.
bland,
Okay.
not very strong in anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
They want us confined. Yeah, you would think about a fish tank, and the fish don't know that there's anything beyond their world. They're happy. You open up, you move the fish to a bigger tank, and they just go to the edges of that one. They don't, and that's what we are, in my opinion. And they told us with like the movie, The Truman Show, and all these other things. They tell us, and
They do tell us, don't they?
yeah,
They
more
have
people
to.
are waking up.
For the magic to have effect, they have to tell you that they're doing it to you.
Yeah, but it's getting so obvious now, isn't it?
And they are using magic against us.
Yeah, and spelling.
Yeah.
Hello, Sunflower Sweetheart. Are you okay? Has anyone got any more questions for Eugene or Dave? When humans see fences, though, they want to climb it and get out. Yeah, they don't tell us that there's a fence there. David Banner, I was thinking this the other day. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I was, the way like the ice wall all the way around, or could be square. I don't know. Do you believe that the equator and the reason why it's hot in the middle is just purely because you're getting away from the ice? Because no matter which direction you come in, if you're coming inwards, and we are on a plane, we're not on a spinning ball, it would be hotter in the middle, wouldn't it? Because it's ice on the outside. Do you know what I mean? And that's why it's hotter in the middle. Because if you think of it like a compass, and then you've got like a dot in the middle, haven't you? And you get closer to the dot in the middle, it gets hotter. You get closer away from it, and it's ice. But the question is, what is beyond that? And that is, I think the elites are often nipping over there. Every single president has been to Antarctica. Why? Even
That's weird.
Obama.
That's weird because getting to Antarctica, it's really not that hard to go to Chile and you're right there. But
You can't go beyond a certain bit, though, can you?
right. Without special clearance, if you go beyond a certain parallel, you will be shot out of the sky or blown out of the water.
Shot dead. So Obama went there after he ended his presidency. He'd never been, and they whisked him off there, and then they took him to Australia. Why? Because they are going to this other, realm or whatever it is, and they're going to visit them or going back there because they're probably all from there anyway. You don't fall off the edge. There is no edge, Sid. Check out the Y'all Ahoy story, Penny. Quite interested. Oh, okay. I'll look into that. I was just literally thinking at the top of my head. This is what's happened, Sid. You see, they've made flat earthers out to believe that there's a pancake floating around space and that you're going to roll off. That isn't what we believe. We don't believe that there is a space. It's all bullshit. It's all to make us think that we're nothing. It's all a lie. And I said this to Al the other day. I says, when you find out that what I'm saying is true, because he won't have it. Thank you so much, darling. I said, I won't rub your nose in it, because you will. I says, I won't. But one day you'll get it. You'll get it. I think Dave's on his way. Thank
What
you
if
so much.
there's no flat plane, no globe? It's just like with the whole movie thing, like a projection. And there's really no way out of it. The space is part of the projection, everything. It's all part of that. And you couldn't take a rocket out of here. But we don't know that because we as regular everyday human beings can't jump on a rocket and try to ride out of here. But what if it's that? That it's just that there really is just what we're projecting. Like we're a giant projector and we're just projecting this reality. And we can go as far as we can project our reality, and that's it.
What about
I don't know.
Fishbowl,
That's a weird thought. Huh?
Operation Fishbowl, where they tried to shoot rockets into this to try. This was before they went to the moon. They were trying to shoot the dome. What was it in the 50s? They were Operation Fishbowl. They're actually trying to shoot up there, shoot nukes into the sky to try and crack whatever it was. And when they couldn't work that out, that's when they said they'd been to the moon. So only 60 years ago, they were still saying that there was a dome up there, but they don't teach you
really. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, if you look into Operation Fishbowl, they were actually shooting nukes into the sky.
You know what's weird? I just seen something within the last couple. What the hell was it? using something. I can't remember what it was. They said something about trying to crack something up in the higher part of the atmosphere. Because I remember hearing, I'm like, what the hell would they be doing that for, and why?
They're looking for the dome. That's what they were doing. I'm just going to see if I can find a video of it now. This was before the so-called NASA. They were shooting up into they were trying to crack the dome. That's what they were doing. Hang on a minute. Oh, thank you. Did you not see it till just? Okay, thank you.
So, okay, we're slaves. We've always been slaves. And you don't want your slaves knowing what's going on, really, right?
Yeah.
So,
right, I'm just going to put a video up here. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I'll put the link in so you can go and watch it after. But they were shooting nukes up into the sky. Hello, sweet peace, Quebec. And they were clearly trying to hit the dome or whatever. They were trying to work out what was there. And it's all been declassified now, but it was classified at the time. And this was in the 50s. This was number 63, for example. This is now declassified.
Stripey XM33. 4.
Shooting to try and crack the dome. And when they realised they couldn't do it, that's when they made up the space bullshit.
Johnston Island was the center of launch and experimental activity for the 1962 high-altitude weapon effects testing termed Operation Fishbowl. But Johnston Island was only the core of fishbowl activity. Radiating out in all directions from this tiny island, 800 miles southwest of Hawaii, were instrumented stations, 266 of them, at sea, in the air, and on land, encompassing a major portion of the Pacific Ocean, all geared to collect effects data from nuclear bursts at high altitudes. Now to set this broad stage in greater detail.
I'm not going to watch the whole thing because there's loads, but I have just put the link in. But there's a few shorter ones. There's one here. What's this? 3-minute one. Yeah, the fact they've called it fishbowl. What does that tell you? Hello, Bill. So have you never heard of this centre? What do you think they're doing? Space. But yeah, they were trying to shoot the firmament or whatever. Eugene, did you know about this, what they were doing?
Nope.
See, they don't. I only learned about it in the last few years. Well, I think they were trying to shoot through the firmament. I think they were trying to shoot to see what was there, and whatever they found or didn't find was what they decided to do in when they went to the moon. Was it was pretended to go to the moon in '69. Hello, Ben. How you doing? You've missed an hour and 40. I'm going to go for another 20. Eugene, have you got any? We're gonna end this soon. How are you doing? Oh, you've muted, mate. I can't unmute you. Won't let me.
There we go. Somehow touched the wrong thing.
It's okay. So you'd never heard of that either, then?
No. I've looked through so much stuff over the last 7 years. But yeah, there's so much stuff out there, you know.
Tell you these things.
Huh?
They don't tell you these things, you know.
Well, they don't tell you half of things, and that's why. Because, you know, according to the angelic realms and stuff, when they speak, they say it's basically just many kinds of slavery. They built a system upon which they could have a whole bunch of stuff created and built for them, and we'd do it all. You know, so if you knew from the beginning that was all bullshit, everything would change. There would be no elites. Everybody'd be living in something that seems more like paradise. You know?
Exactly.
So there's just so much. Yeah, there's so much bullshit out there. You almost get to a point where it's like, I don't believe anything that anybody related to these agencies, you know, say. You know?
Yeah, that's probably closer to the truth than anything else. But yeah, if that was fake, right, what they were doing, it would be taught in every school. Like the moon landings are taught in school. That it's not known by the general population. It came out when it was declassified a few years ago. It's not like known. Like Dave is a researcher, and you didn't even know what it was, Dave. I only found out a couple of years ago.
Oh, hadn't heard of it. Knew about high jump, but hadn't heard of fishbowl.
Yeah, so they were literally trying to find out what was up there only in 1962. So that before they went to the moon, they didn't know what was up there, and they were teaching flat Earth in school in the 20s and the 30s in America, and that they've pretended that didn't happen. But there's been people have actually spoken to people in care homes that are like 100, 102.
I had not heard that. I've not heard that.
Me neither.
Who remember there is an interview. It's not one of my favourite channels, but I think David Weiss did an interview, didn't he? David Banner, you'll probably know. Yeah, I think he spoke to a little old lady. I'll see if I can find it while we're talking. But yeah, it's there's so much that we don't know. It's all coming out.
There's so much that is being misrepresented and falsehoods told that we get a picture in our head of something that did not occur.
Yeah.
At least not in the way that we have it in our head that it occurred.
Yeah, which is what I think the Mandela is. There's nothing, in my opinion, you know, I'll ask what Eugene thinks of it, but the Mandela effect to me is just... Has David Weiss's channel gone, David Banner?
I almost mentioned the Mandela effect a minute ago.
Yeah, no, you. What do you believe? It looks like it's gone.
Well, I had Spirit tell me because I seen a whole entire house appear in my neighborhood one day, that not to freak out, that the nature of how how we're projecting our realities in these timelines, what they are. It's like hitting a tuning fork, and you got all the waves going. We're trying to hit that center. We're going Fibonacci. We're going for the center. You want to hit God frequency. That's what it is. It's all these waves crossing over one another. I always use that as an example because, you know, not only do I like music, but it makes so much sense because everything is frequency. So it's you got a combination of two things going on. One, yes, I feel there's literal timelines. Everybody creates their own timelines crossing over one another. Weird stuff happening. I had this guy show different versions of the Earth, showing the maps changing, all kind of different stuff. Anyways, we've got that, and I believe that is really happening. That's because of the nature of how reality is. It's being projected out. It's not as finite physical as people think it is. And there's also too some things that are blamed on the Mandela effect that are not, and a lot of those go into sales stuff, logos. People forget things, certain stuff. Now the Berenstain Bears, some things I've seen have changed, but they're like, well, look at the VW logo. Well, you do know that sales-wise, it's a good thing to change logos every so many years, change a brand, and that stuff happens. And sometimes it gets blamed on the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all a load of bollocks, to be honest. Dave,
I've got a Mandela effect. Well, it's not really a Mandela effect, but I keep seeing people use the word symbology. Symbology is not a word, but it started being used. Now, the first time I saw the word used was in the movie Boondock Saints. And when it was used, it was pointed out that it wasn't a word. And the word to be used is symbolism. But symbolism is disappearing. The word symbolism is disappearing from our vernacular. Why?
Because words are spells. They know they make us say what they want us to say, because we're literally bringing shit into conscious being, bringing stuff into our reality by speaking. So they want to take certain words away from us. They even shown this stuff with the native, some of the like native population here in America. The elders took certain words away from them because they were abusing the words.
Well, the Hopi said that those who built the earth, the sacred language that could cut stone and do all these things was abused, and so they took the language away from the people. Yeah.
And they even show monks and stuff that can move things with vibration. There's all that different stuff. I've even seen where there's symbols on these it's some kind of advanced technology, and these things are actually moving by ways of the symbols that are on them.
Yeah, there's magic. Well, there's real magic that has real power that we normal everyday folk don't access, but our enemies do all the time.
Yep.
And they use it against us. Well, not so much against us, but for their favor, which is not in our favor.
I've seen a vehicle run on absolutely nothing once. I've seen a lot of weird stuff, but this one nobody could explain it. It was something to do with some metaphysical properties, but I can't remember it or find it to save my life, because it just totally tripped me out. I'm like, all right, I believe in some things. I've looked into all these other technologies, but this one's beyond me.
well, I've just to go back to David Banner. I've just had a look, and its channel's gone. But he did a Sean Atwood interview, didn't he, recently? And apparently he had a professor on, and he destroyed David Weiss on there, the flat Earth theory. And I told you David Weiss was a shill. He allowed himself to be destroyed on there by this Professor Dave somebody, and it blew flat Earth out the window. So he's obviously gone with his tail between his legs. So basically, I knew that he was a shill. They were trying to get him on here. I didn't even know. I didn't. Oh God. Anyway, he's gone now. Anyway, it was a joke. Yeah, fake proof. It's what they do. Mark Sargent did the same with his Netflix movie. They get the flat Earth to be debunked, and then it makes all of us look stupid and crazy. Parkway, I've not seen you for ages. How you doing? Parkway is a flat earther as well, and I think you see Bigfoot as well, don't you, Parkway? Shizniz, how you doing? Professor
I know Parkway is
pseudoscience.
Are you familiar with the movie Loose Change?
I've heard it. Remind me what it's about.
It's a September day, the
9/11.
Right.
No, I haven't then, sorry. Hello,
Okay, well, It's pretty famous. It's been out for a long time, but
Yeah.
in it's a Jason Burmis thing, and about the only thing
Yeah.
that well, according to Ryan Dawson, about the only thing they got right on in that movie was the date.
Yeah.
But they claim that a missile hit, the Pentagon, which it didn't. That was an airplane. The thing is if no airplane hit the Pentagon, you can't put the hijackers who were involved. You can't trace the money to them, and the whole thing just kind of filters away.
There was no plane though, was there? There was no wreckage found
Yeah, there was.
at the Pentagon.
Yes.
They said that when they were doing a report from there was nothing there.
Well, most of it was inside the building.
Right.
Just,
So do you believe that it was what do you think did it then? Because I think that was all on purpose.
Yes, a plane hit the Pentagon. And what no one realizes about the Pentagon is the Pentagon is kind of like what you see from the sky is one thing, and there's a lot of floors below, but it's kind of like on stilts. And so it's kind of like a big open first level, and there's not a lot of reinforcement in that. It doesn't have the 6 foot walls all the way in. It's a big open until you into the center. So it's the plane hit. It's a very plausible and real. It's suspect that all of the footage has been collected and scrubbed.
There's more, and there was some files apparently in there that had explained what had happened to this £1 trillion, which was given to NASA again, and what are NASA doing with it? It's all to cover up what the truth is.
Yes.
What I was going to ask Eugene, what do you think about Bigfoot? Do you think they're real?
Bigfoot. Yeah, I've gone through that one on and off many times throughout life. Honestly, at this point in my life, yeah, I do believe that there is a such thing, and I don't believe it's related to any kind of ape type of things here. If Bigfoot does exist, he's an interdimensional being like a lot of these other beings that have been seen by other civilizations here on Earth.
Because you being of native descent, then isn't that what the the shapeshifters? What are they called? Sorry.
Yeah, like skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers, yeah.
Skinwalkers.
You've got like native descendants. Do you have anything in your family of stories and so on?
No, a lot of the people that would have had those stories were gone by the time I grew up and stuff. My family had moved from southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky up to Columbus, and that's where we were all born. So I was raised in the city, but for some reason I always gravitated back towards that stuff and look up these stories and different things. And
yeah, because there
always
is
found kind of interesting.
Skinwalkers. The Skinwalkers, isn't there, in the Native American?
Yeah, there's a thing. As a matter of fact, I hate it. I'm never plugging the History Channel, but they had a whole thing on there. I just seen some of that stuff popping up on my YouTube. It's kind of funny. It was popping up last night. I watched probably 3 or 4 episodes of some stuff they're trying to do out there. They're shooting lasers into the sky, and shit was like bending in the wrong directions. So they're doing some digital like mapping and stuff, and it almost looked like there's a weird turtle above this one area there where they happened to, the natives, I guess, or somebody had placed these stones in a certain pattern, and it was in alignment with whatever the hell was in the sky that they couldn't see that was throwing off all the equipment they were using. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. But it kind of irked me out, though, because from what they say, a lot of these beings that, they call skinwalkers and scene, don't sound like good beings. They sound like stuff from, like say, the lower 4th dimension. Shit we'd call like demons and monsters and crap. So I quite frankly don't want to see those.
Yeah, apparently they only called upon them when they had to, um is what
Yeah,
people say, you know.
like the shamans and stuff in South America and Africa, they would call upon these certain beings and stuff from these
Yeah.
other realms.
No, they won't, Paula, you're right, love. Yeah, this show, all I can tell you is there is something right going on. Hello, Louis. There is something going. God, good afternoon. It's nearly midnight here, but because you're in the States, aren't you? All I can tell you, David Banner, is there is something going on because I keep seeing things and hearing things, and things keep moving around me, and I'm convinced that there's some sort of parallel universe or something that I'm crossing that is switching. It's like when people see ghosts, I think that you're catching glimpses of what is actually going on in a different. I can't explain it, but that is what, when I get these experiences, it is like there is something there, as in the room with me, but I can't see it. Eugene seems to know what I'm talking about.
They probably
Penny,
don't know you. They probably don't know you're there.
Yeah.
Penny, be sure you don't ever watch the movie called From Beyond.
Is that H.P. Lovecraft?
Yeah, it is.
A bit late.
Yeah,
I've not seen it for many years though. I do love a bit of Lovecraft.
me too. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan.
Yeah, I did like the newer one. That it was based on a short story though. It was called The Colour of Space with oh god, what's his name? Nicolas Cage was in it, and it was actually really good. I don't know if you two have seen it. It's a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, and it was based on a short story.
Oh, I'm sorry to change the subject.
You're okay.
You said Nicolas Cage, and for whatever reason, it made me think of Woody Harrelson. You know who Woody Harrelson is, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Do you know who his dad was?
I don't.
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
What's that?
I don't think so.
Well, his dad was a mob assassin who spent time in prison.
Oh, no way.
Who claimed to have shot Kennedy.
Oh, shit.
No shit.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
Trippy.
Yeah, really.
We should look into that then. When did you discover this then?
Yeah, looks like I'm going down a rabbit hole tonight.
Sleazy P. Martini brought that up a few nights ago.
Hey, wait a minute. Ain't that the guy, the manager for Guar?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Is that a channel?
Yes.
Nah. Guar. Yeah, jeez. Oh, man. You just
have you ever seen Guar? Have you ever seen Guar live? It's a hoot.
I've never actually got to go and see them live. I've seen them all over YouTube and stuff. My buddy went and seen them live and refused to wash his shirt until it started stinking.
This is interesting. Hold on a minute.
Oh,
what
here
was
we go.
The name of the guy that got done for murdering?
Oh, you're thinking Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Well, he was a patsy. He said he was a patsy before they killed him.
I've just seen something really, really weird. Do you want to see something really, really weird?
Absolutely.
I always want to see weird.
Okay,
Duh.
so I had a
Are you new here?
look. Yeah, we like weird over here. I've just had a really literally just looked at this dude. Okay. This is a wiki page, but look at this. So it talks about when he was born in 1938. His birthday would have been yesterday, actually. He died in 2007, I think. But look at this. Can you guys see this? Yeah. I know you can't read it, but you can see. You've got this page up. I'm going to put the link in so you can watch it. You can look at it yourself properly. But okay, can you look at my cursor? So over here is a picture of him. So it says here that he was an American hitman and organised crime figure who was convicted of assassinating federal judge John H. Wood Jr., the first federal judge to be assassinated in the 20th century. Charles Harrelson was the father of actors Brett and Woody Harrelson. Okay, go over here to this guy. There's his mugshot in 1960. Come down here, come down to his spouses, and look what his second wife was called. Look what his second wife was called. Diane Lou Oswald. What are the chances?
Just a coincidence. Nothing to see here. Move along, kids.
Yeah. So clearly she has got something to do with the guy who was convicted of it. Got the same name. We need to look into her.
Genealogy between.
Yeah. So there you go.
They everyone's connected. They're all the families are all connected. It seems.
Yeah. Diane Lou Oswald related to Lee. Let's have a look at this. Okay. The second wife. Okay, this is 2018. Okay, this is in the Sun. I didn't know my dad was a hitman until I heard on the radio. This is from Woody Harrelson. This was 4 years ago. I didn't know my dad was a hitman until I heard on the radio that he had murdered someone. How Star Wars actor Woody Harrelson came to terms with his bloody... Do you really believe that?
Absolutely not.
He was a contract assassin who once mounted a daring prison escape and claimed to have shot JFK. Most likely his dad and him are MK Ultra subjects. I just want to go down because something's just come up about this second wife name. It came up when I did the search, but it's not coming up now. Okay, let me come back out. Does Oswald have a sister? Let's have a look on Wiki, which is not really very useful. So I'm trying to find the connection between the two. So let's take that out. I don't know what people are saying in chat. Everything about the mother. Okay, so the second wife was his mother. So
wait. Woody Harrelson's dad's second wife was Lee Harvey Oswald's mother.
No, sorry. The second wife was Woody Harrelson's mother. So the criminal dad, his second wife was an Oswald. I'm trying to find out if it looks like that was his sister.
So Woody Harrelson's mother is Lee Harvey Oswald's sister.
Yeah, that's what this is looking. This is what this is looking like. Yeah.
Wow.
Got here.
Wow.
Here we go. Diane Lou Oswald is the famous mother of popular American action player Woody Harrelson. So his second wife, Diane Lou Oswald, is the mother of Woody Harrelson. We know that much.
Right.
And then coming down here, I've just seen something. The daughter of Kenneth Oswald and Mary Lou Lousewater. So we need to find out.
Yeah, who's Lee's parents and his...
I'm sure I've just seen that name and it's come up somewhere. 4 days ago. This is suspicious. Why are all these websites just coming up with this now? I don't like articles that are only recent. I don't trust them. I don't
blame you.
Yeah, I like to find stuff that's a few years ago. Penny Miss Marple. Yeah, so okay. This is too recent. Okay. Charles Harrelson, it was with his second wife, Diane Lou Oswald, he had the children with. There's got to be a link. It's too obvious, isn't it? It's too
a little bit.
They're
Little
both
bit.
okay. One particularly infamous assassination that some speculate Charles was involved in was President Kennedy. Conspiracy theorists have long dismissed the official story that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. What we need to do, the claim may have been lent some credence by the fact that Charles' wife, Diane Lou Oswald, shared her surname with the assassin, suggesting a familial link. However, there is no evidence that Woody's mother was related to the note. This was 4 days ago. Somebody made this website. When did this get announced? Because whoever's put this out has triggered a few people adding some stuff to Google.
Well, like I said, I just heard about it from Sleazy P. Martini yesterday or day before.
Yeah, there's something going on. What's the chances, though? If it was just the name, then fine. But the fact that there's also linked to the assassination as well.
Well, now he's dead now, so if they pin Kennedy's assassination on him, it exonerates George H.W. Bush.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the whole search stops.
Yeah. Well, I've just found an article.
Solved it. We solved it. We solved the mystery. It's over now.
Yeah, it's all done. No, nothing to see
Yep,
here. Moving
nothing
on.
to see
I know
here.
what it's
Move
like
on.
I know what it's like to be around like about right now though. Like half of the stuff we're being told, it's bullshit, redirect, so it's almost like I just want to close my ears and go, I can't hear you, because we're
Yeah.
living in a big world of confused the shit out of everybody. I mean, there's people from the damn CIA running around on the internet screwing with people, working as shills and stuff, or paying people to do stuff.
We got 77.
It's all over the place.
Well, you have no idea, brother. They're
They really are.
No, I do, because here's the thing. I've said it on my channel before, and I don't give a shit, because you can't touch me. If I was supposed to be dead, I would have already died a few times over in life. I am being watched over by the angelic realm, so are a lot of us. The biggest terrorist organization in the whole entire world is the CIA. Period.
Well, the CIA is not just the CIA. CIA, Mossad,
yeah, exactly.
MI5. They're all one entity with multiple names and faces.
Yep, and that's funny that you said that, because the next one that's right in my head. There was Mossad, because we know, how they work together. Shit, that's just the way it is. It's all psychological warfare. Going back to what we were saying earlier about people being like machines and stuff. The brain is like a computer. I have psychology books that tell you literally to go at it that way. And I've told people, look, you don't have to be spiritual. You can think whatever you want. I'll give it to you in a scientific form. And this is how it is. Your brain is like a computer. You got to reprogram that shit. Don't let other people program it,
There is some updates. Just before David Banner falls asleep, I've just found an article, Epstein and Oswald, when an uncommon name invites questions. So that's even more interesting. But somebody else has been doing this research. And like I say, it's from 2019, so it's before it came into the public sphere. Somebody else has been looking into this. It says here, his father Charles was a convicted hitman who confessed to John F. Kennedy's assassination, but then recanted it. It was there that I read that his mother, Diane Lou Harrelson, had the maiden name of Oswald. Well, that isn't unusual, as Lee Harvey Oswald is officially alleged as the killer. Any relation? Well, that's sarcasm. Well, that isn't unusual. Yeah. At the time, I kept running to dead ends. It seemed the wiki page was the only place that Oswald came up. Even in JFK forums, few people asked about the connection. So as it turns out, anyone curious about Diane Lou Oswald came to my independent country blog. It's probably my most read piece. So he did a piece. I'll read that after when I'm finished. From time to time, I check up on this myself. Today, I've noticed that Woody's page has a little bit more information. Researchers on Jenny.com or Genie.com determine that if there is a common Oswald ancestor, it's likely at least 4 generations back, with Diane Lou's tree in Ohio and Lee Harvey's in the deep south. The Oswald name then was likely coincidental. If Charles Harrison and Lee Harvey Oswald were connected, family had nothing to do with it. There's got to be a link here somewhere. But then this talks about the Epstein connection. I haven't even gone into that yet. I hadn't thought much about it until the now deceased Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. In contrast to Oswald, it seems to me that Epstein's fairly common in my experience. I don't know, I need to read this, but there's a link now between Eggstein. Epstein was hired by a former CIA employee to teach at the. Yeah, I knew about all this, done this before. So he taught at this school. He was literally he was a Jewish guy. I think he was homeless, a bum. He didn't have $2 to rub together, and he got offered a job by the CIA to work at a school, even though he didn't have a college degree. Did you guys know about that?
Yep.
You got picked up from nowhere.
Now, the person who gave Jeffrey Epstein his job was the father of Attorney General William Barr, in case you didn't know.
I didn't know. But I know who he is, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So look at this. This is the family tree of the Oswald, the mother of Woody Harrelson, and look at this here, 1937 till question mark. So does that mean that she's not dead? Is she dead? No one knows.
All right. Yeah, we have to pay attention to the coat of arms. You have to pay attention to the coat of arms.
Yeah, well, this is the coat of arms for the Oswalds.
Yeah.
A fish, a dragon, a cross, but a cross with crosses on. I don't know what that means. Do you?
Do they have the headless knight? It doesn't have a headless knight, so
it's just got an arm.
It does not.
Sorry.
What? It doesn't have the headless knight though, so.
I don't know what that is. Is it a boat?
No, it's like the helmet and like it's like an empty helmet of a knight above, sitting on top of the coat of arms, if you will, and
it's just an arm with a cross, but then there's crosses on the cross. I don't know what that means. I won't be on much longer.
That is a symbol of the Crusades.
Okay. And the fish?
I assume that has to do with Jesus, but I don't know. What's the little boat there on the bottom left of it? I can't
really
see
weird.
it.
I don't know. There's a boat, a picture of a boat on a sail on another boat with 3 red flags, and that top flag looks like a tongue, a forked tongue. That one. And the tongue coming out of the dragon looks like the Nike swoosh. I'll put the link in.
Yeah. That is a symbol. The lion with its tongue out is one of those ancient occultic symbols.
It's doing it again. Oh my God! You need to see this.
Uh-oh, I don't hear nothing. What happened?
She's looking at something.
I was my sound dropped out.
I was on mute, and I think she's looking for something. Something was happening, and I think she's doing a capture of the screen.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I'm looking at the coat of arms, and a lot is said in there. Lordy, it is hot.
Hello?
Hello?
Your avatar's gone, Dave. What the hell is going on here?
Well, my avatar's gone.
Yeah, it's that thing again. What happened before?
See, I've got my avatar on right now.
I can't see it.
There's my cam back on.
There you go.
Sophie
You're
had
back.
to pee, so
Right, I'm going to
took
show
her
you
out.
what's just happened. Okay.
Okay.
Hang on. It's really difficult doing this. Right, so this is what I seen. Get ready. Okay. You see it flashing?
Yeah.
The whole thing just crashed. I'll show you again. That's what I see.
They're messing with you, girl.
The whole thing just crashed and just started flickering, and my laptop started overheating, making noises, and then all the lights started flashing on it, and then your avatar's gone. Hello, Axel. The boot is a dilipad common in Scottish heraldry. Interesting. I'll take a picture, Dave, to show you. Watch. Hang on.
Am I just a white spot or something?
Yeah.
Huh.
Anybody else see Dave's avatar? Can you see it, Eugene?
No, not at the moment. Disappeared when he got up and left.
See, Dave?
Huh. Those turkeys. Why do they do that to us?
I don't know, but they do it to me. My laptop doesn't normally do this. Not twice. I know it's on its way out, but bloody hell. Axel, good to see you. That was really bizarre. Yeah, Lucy. We're going to try and get Lucy back with an exclusive with the actual Lucy that comes on the panel as well. We're going to get her to interview Paz. Oh, that should be fun. But anyway, what was we just doing that they didn't like? Oh yeah, it was. Do you know what I was about to do, Dave? I was just putting this link in for people to go and have a look themselves. That's what I was doing.
We were talking about the
Oswald and all that shit.
Yeah.
Hello,
No
Elizabeth.
No wonder it went goofy.
Yes, they didn't like that, did they? So I think David's fell asleep, but David Banner, not you, Dave. There's too many Daves. I can't keep up.
My old roommate's name was Dave too. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, my brother's called Dave. There's just all these Daves. It's it's a common name. Not so much now though, is it? Okay. So I'm just doesn't say whether she's dead. Hang on. There's got to be a link. There's got to be. There's just got to be. The thing is, they're going to hide it, aren't they? Of course they are. They're not going to want us to know it. So, and apparently Woody Harrelson only found out Woody Harrelson only found out in 2018 that his dad was a convicted criminal. I highly doubt that that's
Bullshit.
true. Know that.
Bullshit.
Yeah, he's just found out who his dad is. Yeah, right. Oh, there he is. He's still there. Grabbed a cuppa and some jelly babies. There you go. Egg stain, yeah. We have several Daves in my family, says Mike. Same for me, says Refuse Nick Sean. Elizabeth, how are you, darling? Technology, here to save humanity from itself. Eugene, thanks for the chat this evening. Dave, your avatar is gone, says Jen. Yeah, I'm going to end this now because it's midnight. So, and I've got some more housework to do. But it's been really good, Dave. Have you enjoyed it again?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. And man, Eugene, it was great meeting you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, please check out Eugene, his channel. Eugene,
I've
you're welcome
subbed, yeah.
up. You want to do a part 2 because I know there's still so much to cover.
Yeah, that's up to you. Just let me know when.
Maybe we could do. I'm just going to put your channel in. Dave, would you be interested in having another chat with Eugene?
Absolutely. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Eugene, before we go, you were telling me today that you were sent to work at a rabbit farm, and you felt that you were doing it to. You were telling me today. Do you want to tell people that story or not?
Well, that's if you think people will be all right. Well, it was a friend that I met on YouTube, and I didn't really know much when I got there, but part of the farming of rabbits was for food, in their case, and I was there when they did dispatch a few rabbits, but I stayed way away from there. I couldn't get near there. Something has happened. Even though I come from background that's full of hunting and fishing, part of this process, things change. So, anyways, long story short, I just felt kind of weird because I helped take care of the rabbits, but that's when I got like a thing from the other side that's like, look, you can do something that not a lot of other people have. You know what's going to happen to some of these rabbits, but still, while they're here on Earth, you can give them all that love and energy. So that's what I did. And I even talked to some of them because I don't know what the hell happens to rabbits. If it's true that everything consciously evolves, then maybe one day they might be human. So I talked to them and told them the same thing I told my dog, world's built upon love. Always remember that, blah, blah, blah. And just gave them as much love as I could,
You gave them the love while they were on the earth, and I think
Yeah.
that's it's difficult. He didn't want to do it, but he something told him that you've got to do this, and at least if while they're here they get love, then they're going to die, aren't they? I don't want them to die. If they're going to die anyway.
Yeah, the 9-year-old boy in me would rather just open the cages and go, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Hardly any insect. Not where we are. Oh my God, we're overrun. But that's probably because we're in the countryside. I don't know what the cities are like. Yeah, no, thank you, Mike. Thank you for joining us. If I'm free tomorrow night, I might pop on tomorrow night if you boys are free.
There was a rabbit here. The guy that owns this house, I told him I was going on a live chat and told him who. And he said, well, that's kind of interesting. He said, when I came up here earlier, I seen a little rabbit run across the front yard.
Oh, really? It's a little sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Synchronicity.
Yep.
Hello, Jay. What's wrong? You've had to see this. I don't know how true it is. Who director? It's probably fake. We've heard about all this, but I'll have a look. Hold on. I'm just going to share this link so I can get it on the screen before we go. Hold on. Sid has got a breaking news story.
Cool.
How you doing anyway, Jay? Are you okay? Yeah, what we'll do then, what we'll do, are you two free tomorrow night? Because we could continue. Give me time to do a little bit more research on this Harvey Oswald thing.
Yeah, I'm available.
Are you around? Eugene, are you around?
Yeah, I'm available.
Okay, cool. We could do like another little. People have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's been nice for you two to connect. I think Dave has connected with Hello, Found at Circus CDC. How you doing, mate? I think it's been good because Dave has got to connect with a couple of people now, haven't you? Like Aaron is another really cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
I think he was live earlier, actually. CDC, we just say hello to you. How are you doing? You okay? 29 likes, I see. I don't know if that's true. We're not going to hit our magic number. Okay, so this is what Sid has just put in. Thank you so much for this, Sid. I hope it's right, but Vancouver Times. I don't know anything about this. Who director arrested for crimes against humanity?
Tedros? No way. That would be dandy.
Yeah, I gotta look that up when we get off here.
Well, Hugh director arrested for crimes against humanity. The WEF may be next. Update: Bill Gates, Justin Trudeau, and Klaus Schwab are confirmed to be under investigation by Interpol. Keep checking back for our latest exclusive. Tedros, this twat here, the current director of the WHO, has been arrested by Interpol and is being held in prison for crimes against humanity and genocide. This comes as police agencies across the world have begun targeting politicians, businessmen. This smells a bit cute to me. Leaders for their role in the pandemic and for pushing unnecessary and deadly pricks. I don't know, actually, because when the Q thing came out,
That's part of Revelations, also been revealed.
There actually is genocide happening now. We can see it. The Pizzagate thing and the kids under the comic ping pong was one thing, but we can see people dropping dead in front of us now. So this is on Twitter. Looks like it's gone crazy on Twitter. Yeah, another one here called Joseph Woods. Tedros arrested. Does anyone know anything about...
Dude, I wouldn't doubt it with any of that stuff happening. Interpol tried to arrest the Pope, was it about 3 years ago? I seen it on freaking, of all places, on actual regular TV, television.
Really? The Interpol?
Because, yeah, it was a real fast story, and they cut to something else, and I jumped on YouTube immediately and started looking around, because I was like, wait a minute. You know, literally, yeah, his security beat the shit out of Interpol.
Wow.
Part of the great revelations, man. That's what's happening. That's why we're here, and that's why you're seeing the spirits you were talking about. We're pushing the walls to this veil. We're busting a veil. Everything that's true has to come out. We've changed the frequency of the earth. They're all going to be shown, all their lies. Everything's going to come out. They're all
pray you're right.
Trust me, I didn't come to Earth just to freaking hang out this time. At this time, I'm here on a mission, and so are many of us. And I know this and learned this a while back. You know, I didn't come here as just part of some reincarnation cycle. I've done that stuff in the other dimensions. So, yeah, that's why we're here, man. That's why a lot of us are here. Once you realize that, you'll start really tripping out.
I was convinced some time ago that we're here in this time we were chosen, or we chose to be here in this time, and let's party. Bring it on, you know?
You got to think about it this way too. Here's how you get your power back. You don't want to have like people like talking that kind of power, not that kind of power within the divine realms of what you are. And here's the thing: if you are on Earth, you are awakened. Know that you are a wanderer, a starseed, whatever you want to call this. There is something you have to remember. You would not be called upon for this mission unless you were ascended master or some kind of badass within the universe. You have to be able to take on a lot of shit. So when people start getting that in their mind, they realize that magic is not really magic. It's the divine realms that work, and that's how things happen. You get your magic back, you get your power back, and the system can't bullshit you anymore. You get up every day, you say, I'm in a movie, it's the Truman Show, it's They Live, it's all these movies combined together. The shit's funny, I'm in a video game, I can control this stuff. And when we start saying you can control it, you can. And that is when It literally will be like flipping a channel. It's a vibratory field that we're flipping. That's how you get into the next dimension, and that's why we're seeing shit right now leaking over into this dimension, because we're taking down the veil. So
Right.
you are here for a reason, my brother.
The fact checkers are out already. Fake news. They're saying Snopes is out. False. The satirical website, the Vancouver Times. It's fake. And then another fact checker. No evidence is what they've said. So there's no. They fact checked it. They can't find any evidence.
Yeah, I would think that Interpol would have something posted. If
Either
that
way,
were the
I
case.
think it's all just fun story. Even if some of this stuff ain't true, it just shows that things aren't the way they used to be. You know, there's so much changing. What is truth will eventually come out, and yeah, we're gonna probably have to swim through a lot of bullshit beforehand. It's like you said, that Q stuff. You know, a lot of that Q stuff was spiritual stuff thrown in it. Like they're talking about the 3 days of darkness, that goes into spiritual beliefs dealing with the pole flips and things of that nature. It has nothing to do with them shutting stuff down. So
right,
yeah.
but the thing is they intertwined good information inside of the psyop to pull people in and convince us that it was something real.
Yeah, just like this. I hate to say it, this big black book that a lot of us were taught it's the word of God, every bit of it. No, it ain't. Parts of it are, and parts of it's man's bullshit thrown in there. But that's that's my interpretation, of course.
The King James version was penned by Sir Francis Bacon, and it's a masterful work, but it's not. There's something that's being removed, and I don't know what it is.
It's been manipulated even farther back than that, because I studied with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and theirs is more correct to the scriptures as far as they got them, but still, it goes way farther back than that. I mean, some of these stories go back, mimic the stories from like ancient Sumeria, and you think about it, all the Abrahamic religions, Abraham and Sarah came from that region of the world. So you got Judaism, the Islam, and Christianity. They all come from the Abrahamic traditions, and it's kind of interesting when you go back into
right. Well, they say that they came from Abrahamic traditions, but that's just what we believe, man.
Yeah, for all we know, half of everything's bullshit. And I tell you what, I don't really get mad at that anymore. I used to get mad thinking they lied to me in school and stuff. But no, what they did is give me an opportunity to learn a whole bunch of stuff. I'm 50 years old and I have a whole bunch to learn. I don't know what shape the earth is. I don't know what's real science and bad science. I know math is constant. That's the one thing I know they got right. But outside of that, it all could be bullshit.
I think it is. Yeah. Just see, look, these 119 thoughts. This is what people are saying about it. This is so sweet. We finally begin to see justice for all that have suffered. And then so the real, like Eugene said, even if it is rubbish, the amount of people that are supporting it, it's too good to be true. Wonderful. So yeah, this story was fabricated. Yeah, it does look like it was fake, but
right, that story was fabricated to get the public's reaction.
Maybe
feeding off the energy.
Yeah. Well,
to see how much we actually hate the Who.
Yeah, to see what we really think, and who of us is willing to say, yeah, that's what I think, and we're on a list now.
Yeah, see, I've got to the point now where I'm starting to be careful of what I say and stuff, because I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep pointing, because I'm not trying to be paranoid, but I think we're getting to a point where they're trying to push that bill to call people enemies of the state. I'm like, screw this. People know how I feel. I'm going to keep a lot of shit to myself, because I don't want them one day saying, we heard you say on YouTube, and then bam, you can't go anywhere. So yeah.
I'm already on that list. The FBI is parked out in front of my house for a few days, so I'm already on the list.
I met them once.
I've got to go
meet them again.
He's not sleeping again, so I need to go and sort him out. Okay, so thank you both for joining us. It's been really, really good. Yeah, so if you guys are free, we'll meet tomorrow night. Yeah,
definitely. I enjoyed talking to you, Dave, man.
You too, man.
And of course, you too, Penny.
Yeah, no, thank you. You should join the Telegram group, Eugene. Are you on? If you can, you get an app on your phone.
Well, I can, man, but there's little parts of me that just wants to hide from all technology. I'm like, oh man, every time I try going into one of these new sites, it doesn't work out or something. I don't know. I could look into it.
Yeah, this one's encrypted though. It's if you're on Facebook, then this one is much safer than
Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook's run by the FBI.
I know,
Well,
I know.
Facebook is Project LifeLog, which
Yeah,
is a
it is.
DARPA. Yeah, it's
I'm going to
it's
make
a
a video on
surveillance
that
tool.
again, Dave. I did it a few years ago, and I'm going to do another one because there's so many people that are coming in that are new to it. They don't know. They don't know this stuff.
Well,
It's a
YouTube is as
surveillance
well.
tool.
It is. So is YouTube.
It's funny though, because you say like Facebook's a surveillance tool, and how many people go on there and say, "This is what I'm eating tonight. I'm going to the bathroom." They're constantly saying what they're doing, where they're going.
Yeah.
I checked in here.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
and Facebook
Thank you.
is always tracking where you are.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Oh yeah.
It is.
For
Hello,
sure.
hello. How are you? Hang on a minute. Here we go. Jinxed coma. How you doing? Yeah, should be abolished. I agree. Thank you for popping in.
Hey, throw the United Nations in there too.
Yeah, and
the WHO, the WEF, all of them.
We're going to be doing a series of all of them.
Chuck all these people in a volcano. We'll go old school. We'll grab the whole entire government, chuck them all in a volcano.
Stick them all in Alcatraz, I say. It's empty. It's ready and waiting. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off. But yeah, I might go a little tiny bit early. I'll see. I went at 9:30. I might go like about 8:30. I'll see though. I'll get it all set up and we'll reconvene tomorrow night. So
Okay.
thank you two. Great chatting, great guests. And thank you everybody in chat. I'm banned from Telegram. How'd you do that one? That's quite a mean feat, that one. I'm banned from Discord, but I managed to open a new account. Just open up a new one. String them up, lamppost style. Right, thank you. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Take care. Bye.
Much love.
Good night.
Take care. Bye.